Oh, Jackie, you don't look well.
What's wrong? Are you really doing that to your testicles?
Just
you look at that and say, "Oh, I need a lift."
Like you look at yourself down there?
Well, I shower every day.
I mean, you care how you look?
Down there?
No, I feel about moving it this way and this way.
Let it just
stay where it should be.
Sounds like maybe you got a complaint from one of his friends or something.
No,
right.
No, that's a good
one of his
line,
buddies.
Jackie.
Aren't you afraid of AIDS?
Why should I be afraid of AIDS?
Well, because for gay sex. What do you mean, how disgusting?
I don't do that, and I don't bend over if you put a banana on the floor.
Really? You don't have gay sex?
Not like that.
Oh, no one.
Okay, let's play.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Now listen to the words.
Not like that. You've had that.
I really have, huh? Okay, if you say so. Okay.
You've never done that.
How would you know you didn't like it?
Oh, believe me.
I think, first of all, I'm not, ranking it. It has to be in your mind first, then put it someplace else. That's not in my mind.
Okay.
I don't know what's in that mind. That's too much in that mind.
I'm just trying to figure out what the TV show is.
Oh, there's more than that. All
right, Mark, let me hear your latest song, and then I'll throw you out.
Where did he say he was taking the TV show?
He is taking the TV show to NAPT. He actually said it right. It is called NAPT.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
National Association of Programming Television
Plus, I'm being
Executives.
considered for Eileen Heckett's May December romance in the 5 Buchanans.
You know what, Mark? No one's ever seen you in anything except some bad New Year's show where you stand around in a club with a bunch of gay guys.
I'm going back March, 3 weeks in the same hotel.
Really?
Omni Shoreham Hotel. Okay, so play the song.
All right, let me hear your new song. This is about Newt Gingrich?
Yeah.
You might like
And you'll play it all the way through?
Do you like Newt Gingrich or you don't?
No.
You do not?
No.
Why don't you?
Because I'm a Republican. I'm not going to allow that crap in the party.
Oh, you are a Republican?
I've always been, yeah.
And what is wrong with him?
Well, listen to the record. Every word I say is true.
Okay, let us hear.
Go for it.
Listen to the record.
Every word I say is true.
Go for it.
You only know one tune, right?
It's become my signature.
Can you imagine the music
What happened to the song?
Everything is constantly erased.
I know. I think this is his signature.
My signature.
My signature.
I'm going to do a Dear Howard song after this.
I think his mind is soggy with all of his friends' fluids.
Oh, boy.
Are you still dating that French guy, the young French
No, I'm leaving for Paris Friday. I'm going to the wedding Saturday.
Okay.
Oh, your friend is getting married even though he has gay sex with you?
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not going on the honeymoon. Trust me.
So you've had gay sex with this guy, he's going to marry a woman and ruin her life.
A real woman, yeah.
Yeah.
Total. Where's the song?
Okay, here we go. Oh, do I hate you?
No, you don't now.
All right, here we go.
We got to give out the douche stuff.
No one even knows what he's talking about.
You'd be surprised.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah, right.
So will you congratulate your friend on his wedding by giving him oral favors?
No, I'm the best man.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So you're going to kiss him when he says, and now you may kiss the bride?
Yeah, one cheek and one cheek.
Are you in love with him?
No. No.
Do you want him?
No, but didn't you want to hear about the watch?
How'd you get that expensive watch? Is that watch worth about what?
I don't know. The dinner, listen to what happened. The dinner was so good in Gutenberg, New Jersey, and the wife, Letitia, made all this...
All right, you know what? I don't care.
Right.
All right.
He gave me an Arab headdress and a watch.
Okay.
Because you made him dinner?
No, his wife did.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't even care.
It's a gift.
Here's Mark Harris singing about Newt Gingrich, and then we'll throw him out.
All right.
Dear Newt Gingrich, I must tell you publicly, you're sounding like the Führer from Germany.
Germany.
Wait, you got to play it through. The words run.
All right, so you think he's sounding like a Führer?
Reincarnated. I'm proud to be an American in the good old USA. But as for you, behave yourself in a more respectful way.
What?
How old is Mark?
How old are you?
No, wait, you didn't. This is only the
How old are you, Mark?
Into production.
How old are you?
I'll be 46.
This is from, like, Rudy Valley.
No, that's the verse. The production comes in. Oh, dear Newt Gingrich. Gee, Leo DeLion was right. You don't play it straight through. Go ahead. Joe Michael did this music.
Yeah, Mr. Gingrich. I'm writing this to...
Do you ever listen to current music?
Yeah. Why don't you listen to a song that was written in this era? You know, Newt Gingrich's mother whispered to Connie Chung
in that song.
Mark Harris is an a-hole. Do you know that?
I didn't hear that one.
She's in that song.
Is she?
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Profanity about the First Lady, Hillary. Okay, here it is. Everybody. Forget abortion. Your mother didn't do it. It's now too late. She blew it. And as for only white, just who are you to think that's right for a...
What is he talking about?
I don't know, but what's happening with the music?
Didn't hear the ad-libs. Go ahead.
Tempo. What is that?
These aren't ad-libs. You wrote this down.
No, the next part.
The ad-libs. Did he say those are ad-libs?
No, the next one, right after the next just where you edited. Just where you edited. Nation now. I just heard the other day about your sister, the one who's gay and you're homophobic.
What is it?
Okay.
What? I don't still understand what your problem...
Right.
Oh, the next is an ad-lib? All right, let me hear the ad-lib.
I'm not gonna date you.
Oh, that was it.
Anyway.
That's an ad-lib.
I'm glad we got that.
Yeah, wow. I'm sorry I stepped on that.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh. You see this? This is your tape of your song. Look, watch it. See this?
Oh, so you're not finishing the song? Guess what? I have more. I have more.
Yeah, I broke it.
You're not finishing the song? You have more.
Oh, God. It's awful, Mark. It's
Really?
terrible. First of all, you say you hate Newt Gingrich. No one even knows why.
You don't know why you like him?
I don't dislike him. Why would I dislike him?
I don't know. Why would you? I don't like him.
What don't you like about him? You haven't answered. What does he stand for that you don't
Play
like?
the rest of the song. You'll hear the rest.
No, but so far I'm halfway into the song. I don't know what you don't like about him. You're just like a guy who says I don't like a guy and has no reason. You just reacting.
You mentioned one thing, abortion. Is that the whole issue?
No, there's more.
What else?
Listen to the song. I put
Didn't
it all
you
down.
write it?
Of course I
So
wrote
tell
it.
us what you said.
I'm waiting for
Because
the end
you're
of the song.
dragging this song and you're putting us all to sleep.
Yeah,
It's a big
it's
production
awful. It's
number.
an awful song.
Oh,
It is
I'm
the
glad.
worst song I ever heard. How's
That's
that?
here.
Yeah.
Thank God the audience doesn't think so.
You know, that's why he can get along in the world.
Right. Why?
Because you're totally delusional.
Delusion. It's as for Boys Town, the mood was so swell, but your ideas from hell.
But he looks at me like, wow, did you hear that?
Is that
No.
tough? Is that biting?
Yeah, now do you understand why I don't like him?
You don't like me?
No.
What?
In other words,
Right. Go ahead.
He's not on this planet.
He's not.
Oh, I'm on this planet, all right.
What's going on?
No, I'm saying,
Right.
you came in here with the premise, you wrote a song you don't like Newt Gingrich, and the song is going to teach us why we're not supposed to like him.
And you don't understand the lyrics.
And then, no, I don't. I don't understand what you're saying that you don't like. What don't you like about him?
All his politics. I think he's too right, too close to the right. He has to be more centered.
All right.
Next.
What is too far to the right?
Too extreme.
No, what idea don't you
I think there should be pro-choice as far as abortion.
All right, we all agree with that.
Oh, you
Yeah,
do?
yes.
Okay, I think someplace between him and the president, there should be a moderation, like myself. I think I'm moderate.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes,
You're totally flamboyant.
We should all be like you.
Would you ever have an abortion if you got pregnant?
If I got they just did that.
There's a pretty good chance you might.
First wife is so broke. Next time you dine, you should only shut up.
Okay, I had enough.
Yeah, but that's the last line.
All right.
That's okay. That's really it.
Marvin Homolish.
Did you write the lyrics to this one yourself?
Yes, I did.
With a little assist from Leo DeLoy.
No, Leo didn't do this one. Leo was hysterical.
All right, very good. Listen, Mark, congratulations on your new song about Newt Gingrich.
So
And your
tomorrow,
TV
just
show.
And your TV show. What is the name of the TV show again?
Tasty Travels. Tomorrow,
Tasty
tune in. I'll
Travels.
be next to Mr. Blackwell while he reads off the list
Where?
Where would this be?
in his house
You're going to be next to Mr. Blackwell when he reads off his
tomorrow
list
morning.
of worst dressed.
Of the worst dress, but I'll be dressed up for the occasion.
Yeah, how did you work yourself into that?
Oh,
Why will
I
you be
know
standing
many
there?
years.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know.
He invited me. And we also are hoping...
Have you ever made love to him?
No, but we're trying to do this play Love Letters together.
You and he want to read love letters?
Yeah. Oh, look how smart she is. She knows what it is.
It's a play where two people, usually a man and a woman, get
Right.
on stage and read love letters to each
So
other.
it was his idea.
His idea for you and
to
him.
do a male rendition of it, and our lawyer just...
Don't you two guys realize that you're two guys who really, no one really, like you've never been in a production of anything, really, that anyone's really seen.
We saw your tape.
Blackwell...
Yeah.
Blackwell has not been in anything that...
Really?
You know, not recently.
East Side
yeah,
kid.
I know. One of the East Side kids. That was 100 years ago.
Okay.
But Blackwell hasn't been in anything either. He's a guy who reads a top 10 list.
Right. The worst.
So don't you guys realize at some point that no one is going to pick up on this stuff about reading love letters and all that?
Well, I hope they do. I mean, we put in a request.
Who is going to go watch you and Mr. Blackwell
read love letters to each other?
I'd go.
What is it?
You know that Mark elicits like the biggest number of faxes on the show.
Douche dust for kids.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so I see. Dear Mark, why don't you go have your giant loose a-hole tightened up? Look at
Who writes these things? Is the back room?
this. Howard, please, please, please let me kick his ass. Signed, Willie. King of all Mark Harris haters. All right, thank you for the Christmas gift of douche das.
May you all use it.
Oh, you're trying to tell us we
Trying to tell we smell. I'm going to use it. Thank
It's
you.
really good.
Drink it.
Look at this fax I just got. I want to kill Mark Harris. Signed the Pope.
Could have been worse. Could have been Newt Gingrich.
Will you wear your chic outfit next to Mr. Blackwell tomorrow?
No, I'll be dressed for the occasion.
So what happened? You go over to Mr. Blackwell's house and you guys work on this play together?
No, we have to have written permission from Mr. Gurney, who wrote the play, so that's what we're waiting for.
You saw Mark when he did that Dorian Gray thing.
Yeah, what happened with that?
We're giving that to the agent, too. You see, I can't do everything. Now I'll have an agent.
So your agent will represent you in playing Dorian Gray. You're going to be a garment worker who
I may be
never ages?
I may be too old at the time, even with surgery, to play the part. But
I see.
You want to see the mink?
No.
No, okay.
No, I don't want to see
Your brother-in-law had it on. He looked great.
Right.
There you go.
And your agent is the famous Hollywood agent?
I wonder. That's funny. No, Hal
Is it?
Stallmaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
Hal Stallmaster.
And who is he?
Artist group.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
And what is he representing you on your various plays and Mr. Blackwell?
He doesn't represent him at all yet. He says he's
tomorrow
gonna have
we'll
an
meet at the
agent
Friars
tomorrow.
and make a deal.
Oh, you see, so Harry Stallwater doesn't
Whatever.
doesn't represent you at all, does he?
As of today, no. As of tomorrow, yes.
No,
We don't know.
what will change tomorrow? Has he met you yet?
Well, we've been on the phone quite a few days discussing all these projects.
I see.
You see, there's a lot of people
Who
unlike
else
you that
does he
think I'm going to be a
represent?
star. Dom DeLuise and some other people. But unlike you, there's a lot of people that think I am going to be a star.
Oh, they do. And wouldn't they think it's unusual that in so far, you're 46 years old, no one has tapped your talents for anything and maybe...
Haven't been out there trying before this year.
Is that right?
Before 94.
This is the first year that you actually
94
tried.
June, yeah.
And what is he most excited about? The TV show or
Or the Tasty Travels and all that stuff, yeah. And the fact that I have balls enough to, besides picking them up, to go out there and perform.
I see. All right. Well, listen, Tasty Travels, and of course you're reading with Mr. Blackwell.
No,
tomorrow.
if we get permission.
Right.
No, I'll just be there while he.
And you and Mr. Blackwell will read love letters to one another.
It would be great.
Right.
It'd be great.
And where will these shows air? On the Homo Network?
No, but that's a good.
Is there a Homo
that's
Network?
A good network?
Why don't you start something?
Yeah, we should. We should. What?
Homo
What?
box
What was that?
Homo box.
Well, my New Year's began great. That's all I can tell you.
You know he's RuPaul with no talent?
Yeah.
RuPaul with no talent. Just a little.
Well,
pity.
Mark, anyway, listen, congratulations on Martha Ray, the estate.
You must come back and show us all your surgery after it's done.
Well, yeah, I'm going back. After all the surgery and the recuperation, then I'll debut again at the Omni Showroom with my new face, ass, and everything else in March.
I would like to see that. That I'm going to.
Where?
Well, certainly
Coming to
you'll-
Washington?
I'm coming to Washington to see you with your new
April 1 is
face
really
and
gonna
ass.
be very good because I'm going to the Kennedy Center for the opening of Carmen with a date. I don't know who, but they're fixing me up with
Who is
somebody.
they? Who is they?
Oh, that I'm not giving out.
No, who is... No, yes, you are.
Somebody
Who
in
is-
Washington. No,
Who
I'm not.
is fixing you up? Who feels that you have to be... In other words, you think that you're in old Hollywood...
No, I don't.
And
I'm
that you're
moving
being
to New
fixed
York.
up by
I'm
a
moving to New
studio.
York.
You think you're being fixed up. They are fixing you up.
You didn't see this? 2 pages in the Washington Post.
The 7th, Mr. You're right, and I read the Liz Smith mention. Yes, I did. Very nice.
Well, you're getting press.
What becomes of a legend's husband the most?
So you think you're going to be fixed up at the Kennedy Center?
Yeah, I am.
Because who is going to fix you up? In other words, your agent is going to fix you up?
Very famous Washington lawyer.
Why do they feel it necessary to fix you up? In other words, for your image?
They feel sorry that I'm alone.
I see.
Even Clinton wrote me a letter most recently, which is very nice. He wrote me a beautiful letter.
President Clinton wrote you a letter. Yes.
Beautiful
And what did he say to you?
Well, he's concerned at this particular point for my loneliness.
He is?
Yeah.
Did you tell him you're with a guy in France?
No, I got to answer him. And I'm going to send him that song.
He's concerned about your loneliness.
That's what it says in the 3rd paragraph.
Oh, boy. How come he never has proof of this?
Oh, I do.
Where is the letter?
Walk around with it.
You're walking around with everything else.
It's I got to frame it. You think I'm lying? I'm not.
So you really believe you're going to be famous? This is going to be the year of Mark.
I know I'm famous now. I mean, as a media star, but just walking around, walking around New York the other day, everybody
as a media
yelling,
darling.
Hey, Mark Harris, and then that was the construction workers. Can I try on your coat? I said, no, it's too cold, but I'm going to make fur-lined hats if you want, hard hats with fur in them.
I see.
But yeah, I'm having a ball, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
I know to pick something stupid. Who would have guessed that?
I would bet you're having 2.
We never doubted for a moment that you were having a ball.
No matter what, I'm happy.
Right.
I really am.
I know. Well, that's what they call it. You're gay.
I was looking on theatrical.
Do you sit at home sometime and think about poor Martha Ray?
Yesterday I went to Marlboro, New Jersey.
Have you had a chance to think about Martha Ray and reflect on her, or are you too happy?
I'm finished mourning.
All right. You're over the mourning period.
Over the mourning period.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, you ran out of clothes.
Yeah.
I didn't want to buy more black.
So where will you announce the worst dress list with Mr. Blackwell?
Yeah,
where is his mansion? In Los Angeles?
Hancock Park.
Where?
Hancock Park.
Hancock Park?
And we're going to have fun with that one, huh?
And where's that, in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
So you will fly back to Los Angeles today?
Yeah, after this, got to go to a hotel. I'm packed already. Get everything shipped.
Look at the fun he's having. He doesn't appear to work.
I got to go pick up my 7-year-old. I left it with my sister. I was looking at a house.
Where'd you pick him up?
Her.
Oh, you picked up a 7-year-old girl?
My 7-year-old daughter.
Oh, your daughter. Oh, I thought you were talking about a date.
And then we'll be, flying back. But I bought a Central Park West thing here for myself.
Now, where are you getting this money from? Is this all the Martha Ray money?
No, it's not the Martha Ray money.
Really?
No.
He swears he made money on his own.
Right.
With his own businesses.
Oh, I know. He's running around, flitting around. Now he's
hear this. I went to Marlboro.
He's having more fun than anybody.
I'm telling you, I'm Marlboro, New Jersey yesterday. I used to live there years ago with a first wife. So this agent takes me and...
What agent?
From ERA, Trotz Realty in Marlboro.
Oh, a realty agent. Oh, I thought you meant a Hollywood agent.
No. She takes me. You wouldn't believe this. She shows me this gorgeous home. It's right next door to my ex-wife who built a home.
Isn't that something?
I said, I love my sister. I wouldn't buy this. I mean, the home was beautiful, but who wants to put it next to the ex-wife?
All right, listen. What a life you're leading, and it's fascinating, and I wish there was more time to hear more stories.
You don't want to throw me out after 10 minutes. We went overtime.
No, you're terrific. There's no question about it.
Good too.
You're an amazing human being, and there is an amazing story somewhere in all of this.
So you think I'll still talk to you when I'm a big star?
I think you will.
Oh, Liberace's been coming to me in my dreams.
All right. We'll save that for the next time.
Now.
Right.
Channeling.
All right. Very good. I predict in 3 months you'll be a big star.
I will.
Yeah, you've got about 3 months.
Seriously.
Right.
Well, we wish you the best, Mark.
I know you. I know you do. I heard you got a book coming out.
Yes, I do.
I do too. But we're in court. No, we're in court with the book first. We are.
You're in court with the book.
Why are you in
Arbitration January because of what the Globe printed, which is incorrect. Saying they have the manuscript and saying something else.
What is he talking about?
Well,
he's involved in all controversies.
Every time he does something, it winds up in court.
He does nothing, and he's in court.
There was supposed to be a movie made. It wound up in court.
Right.
Listen to this.
I understand. It wound up in court.
I understand the controversy.
This is my impression of Mark Hart. The movie was going to be made, but it's in court. But I have a book coming out. I went for the TV show. But that's in court.
I said to Dom DeLuise the other day at Artie, we were having lunch, and I'm saying to him, because he got up singing, I didn't even know.
Are you a friend of Dom DeLuise?
Yeah. So he said. So I said to him, I understand.
That's shocking.
I understand.
Does he think you're handsome?
He thought I looked like Elizabeth Taylor used to.
Really?
Yeah. He says, "Why are you having a facelift?" I said, "Gravity." And then I told him about everything else, and he couldn't finish lunch. I don't know why.
Is he attracted to you?
I don't know, but his wife was very sweet.
Right, he's married, right?
So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so he says to me this, that, and the other thing, and I told him about Tasty Travels. He liked that. Tasty Travels. He loved that. Oh yeah, so I said to him, but Dom, I understand the controversy. Okay, the controversy.
You know what? I can't take it anymore. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why flamboyant?
I don't know what you're talking
I'm not
about.
flamboyant.
You're not flamboyant. No.
Controversial, maybe.
Is Liberace really coming to you in dreams?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you something. You better wear a condom if you come see when he died.
He died of a bad illness.
Yeah.
But you know the rambling you hear here?
Yeah.
That's what he does between songs in his act.
I know.
No more, I don't.
No one
I
understands
pulled up a stool in Washington, and I discussed. I mean, the reporter said my varnished nails. Do you think they're varnished? I only had one coat.
All right, very good. It's just, I know he talks to people on the stage.
Between songs, he talks and then goes into another song. But
do you have a tape of your New Year's show?
Yes, I do.
You do have a tape. Would you please bring it with you?
I promise, yeah. It's being edited now.
You just send it to us. Your New Year's show. Don't edit it.
Well, it's too late. They did.
Who's they?
Randy Houck.
Who is Randy Houck?
He's a good camera guy.
He's editing your show.
He did already. Because tomorrow we're giving it to Al Stolmaster. It's very good.
Al?
Hal.
But the guy's name has changed.
Oh, and you're having a meeting with the agent tomorrow?
Yeah.
And the agent will decide whether or not he's going to take you on as a client tomorrow?
He thinks I'm going to be a big star.
He does.
He does, really.
Don't.
He listens to your program. Don't bet on it?
No, that he
you
gets
lay
signed
odds?
by an agent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You want to lay odds?
Yeah.
How much?
Because every time he comes
You know who
in
Seymour Heller is?
he
used to handle the
game
garage.
shows. How many things have we seen actually come to pass that Mark has told us about?
Boy, you in for a surprise. Nobody tries harder than I do.
Oh, I agree. You tried.
All right, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You called the agent, you told him all your ideas, and now he wants to meet with you.
Well, he knew who I was.
Right, and he wants to meet with you. And who else does he represent?
I don't know his whole roster. I'll ask him.
Does he represent anybody that we
lot
know?
of people,
Who?
I don't know them all. I don't.
You don't know one person.
name.
Yeah, well, I know he handles Dom DeLuise because Dom told me the other day that was coincidental.
Right.
So, I mean, I didn't know that going in.
All right.
Are we done with this interview?
Yes.
Enjoy the douche toss. Did you also want to
You find him funny because I do. I hope the audience does.
I think he's a riot.
Did you know that I just bought a condominium in Berlin?
Everything he does is...
I did.
Condominium in
Yes.
Berlin.
How much money? What are you worth? What is your personal worth? Are you a millionaire?
Oh, yeah. That, yeah.
You are?
Yeah, million, yeah. My oldest child handles my money, and she just moved back to New York.
I see. All right. Well, let's save that for another
You got to
time.
bring her in one of these days. I want to see what you spawned.
Yeah. We want to see that.
Born. Right.
We want to see if she's proud of her dad.
I wanted to bring my 7-year-old in here.
Well, let's do that.
Juvenile.
All right, let's take a break, and I want to thank Mark Harris for stopping by. I have a lot of other things to discuss on the show today, and certainly you were the highlight. All right, Mark Harris in his shake outfit, looking fabulous.
Now, that's the only clap I'm getting today.
No, you've gotten the clap, I'm sure, several times. Never, is that right? Very good. All right, the great Mark Harris.
Yeah, there he is. There he goes.
There he goes.
Oh,
you look more handsome than ever.
No, this is good in the cold, though, this chic thing.
Oh, good.
We'll be back right after this. Thank you. Oh, thank you, please.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Stay right there. 97.1 The Eagle.
807 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. It's 812 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Call Howard on the Eagle's toll-free line, 1-800-54-STERN. It's The Howard Stern Show.
You know,
here's Howard.
We got a lot to get.
The radio?
Hi, yes.
A tape of broadcast? Do you think your husband would leave you if you got breast cancer?
Oh, that.
Oh, come on, Katie.
Oh, you know
Okay, Howard always talks good about...
I know, I like Howard, but, I just don't think this is appropriate, and I don't really like these questions.
Don't you feel badly for Deborah Norville?
I'd rather not do this. Thank you.
Please, Katie.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Aren't you embarrassed by the white trash who waved at you through the glass window at the Today Show?
Goodbye. Nice meeting you.
Is there anyone more arrogant than Brian Gumbel, Katie?
How are you?
Who's more arrogant than
Hi, how are you?
Katie.
Nice to meet you.
Katie, Howard talks good about you all the time.
Tell Howard I said hi.
Thank you. All right.
Well, first of all, I was in the Macy's parade, which was a great experience for me, promoting the Christmas album, and I'm standing up there and there's a piano and it's raining and the violin players there and like this, and all of a sudden I hear some guy go, "Hey, blonde Frankenstein!" So it was. I went on Howard's show probably 3 times, and we got along. And then when Connie and I got married, something had struck a nerve with him or something. And
I think it was that you said that you guys hadn't had sex until you got married in People magazine or something. That's something that Howard goes, what? The antenna goes up and he just starts flashing away at you.
He definitely doesn't like that. No.
Howard believes in sex all the time, I think. So
yes. 1-800-50. Call that number. So anyway, he started trashing me big time, and I am actually a Howard Stern fan. I listen to him all the time, and it's one of those voyeuristic shows where you wouldn't listen to it in the car with somebody else, but you would definitely, like, when you're, oh great, I'm alone, you know, just listen to Howard and see what he was trashing. Well, it was usually me, and his latest thing was to take the Christmas album and play it and then, like, sing vulgarity over it. Like, for a half an hour, he's doing this. And then what happened was the album blew out all the stores in all the markets where Howard was airing, because I think people thought that it was Christmas music with Howard singing on it or something.
Whatever the hell they believe, it sells. Howard Stern sells records. Richard Simmons says he goes on there.
Yeah.
People say, why do you take the abuse? Because he sells dealer meal like there's no tomorrow.
Well, I'm a little afraid of, actually, Howard approached us about doing his interview show.
Here on
E, yeah.
And you said?
I just said, what was the quote? I said,
no?
I said no. Yeah, I think that was the quote.
Thank you. Quote, no?
Yeah. I just want to see how it evolves, you know. I want to see a couple of other people spill their blood first to see what happens. But I really am. I'm here to tell you, I'm a Howard Stern fan. But I wouldn't let my 11-year-old stepson listen to him.
Well, I don't know if he's necessarily for 11-year-olds, but you ought to do the show. I will say that because I've seen the show and it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah,
you'll have some fun with it.
Yeah, I saw some clips where he kissed Joan Rivers' dog. So if it's that kind of show, I'm for it.
Bring your dog and God only.
I'm going to bring my dog. If he wants to kiss me, just hold the dog up.
So Howard, if you're watching, John will do the show. I think our talent bookers are right outside the door.
I know. And, I've already spoken. In fact, I have a Howard Stern tape they gave me one. Here, watch the Gary Shandling. Come on.
We've been hitting him up in the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, I also want to ask you about...
All right, let me start with I've Got to Get a Message to You, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Right. Yesterday, we were number 1 in New York in the ratings. In Los Angeles, we were like number 5. Did you read about this? Yeah.
What happened?
I know. Well, nothing happened. That's just the point. It's all the Mexican stations are number 1.
Oh,
all the Mexican morning shows are number 1 and number 2.
Oh, boy.
So we have, of course, all our listeners disappeared. And it's not even like Mark and Brian or Rick Dees or any of the white stations, so-called white stations.
English-speaking stations.
Yeah, did any better.
Well.
I mean, the All News beat us because they maintained their number, and some guys Loman and Barkley or something. I don't know. It just got me fed up, and yeah, that's okay. I didn't even get that upset, which was weird for me because I just said, well, so I guess we're not as good as Mexican morning men. What can I tell you? I just find it hard to believe that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a station changes its call letters, and ever since then, they've been beating us in the morning.
What were they before that call letter changed?
I don't know.
Number in the market?
Like number 97 or something. They didn't even exist on the dial. And it really got me pissed off because, and then what happens is we go back up in the ratings and we become number 1 again, hopefully, which happened the last time this happened. This happens to us once a year.
We seesaw there.
Yeah, and it really sucks. I mean, last year I was number 1. And then I was number 5 because the Mexicans beat us. And this year, I'm again in the same situation.
You'd think that the rating service out there would get that under control, would figure out what's going on. Because how could we flip-flop like that all the time?
I don't know, but it's awfully embarrassing to be beaten by Mexicans. It just really is. It's just very, very embarrassing.
Well, can we sort of consider, like, Los Angeles not part of the United States anymore?
Yeah, but, it's just embarrassing because, of course, the headline is, Howard Stern falls. That's all they want to write. Because here in New York, we were number 1 again. You can't even find my name in any of the articles.
There wasn't an article.
No. Hinckley managed to write his usual I'm his fan letter, and somehow we're just ignored.
Yeah.
We're just ignored. It's just basically, Howard Stern was number 1 again. As if that's some small feat. There's 900 radio stations on in New York. And
the sad thing is there's never been a big headline about your being number 1.
Yeah, or an article that said, my God, this guy's been number 1 for so long. How's he do it? It's never Letterman is number 1 for a couple of weeks. He beats Jay Leno. One guy he beats.
By like tenths of a point.
Yeah, and it's headlines, there's articles. He's the man of the year. He's the king.
He's the king of late night.
I think on 900. We go on in Miami in 2 months and we knock off the leading guys. In 2 months. 2 months we did that. But I don't know. But boy, you fall in Los Angeles, man. It's headline after headline, and it's like embarrassing.
Where are these articles?
I have them somewhere. Let's see. Here, KLAX knocks... That's the Mexican station. The Mexicans... Basically, should just say the Mexican station. The Mexican station knocks Stern on his private parts. Big headline. You know, only when I do bad. It's so embarrassing. Stern gets a bit of a rating shock. And it's not like, you know, Mark and Brian. Mark and Brian are nowhere to be found. I mean, they're like number 9. Rick Dees is number 5. He's tied with us. Rick Dees. Where's Disco Duck? I want to play that. Where is that? I was reading about... someone sent me a book about bad television shows. And they were talking about there was... I forget what the bad television show was. Where they're saying that the first night it was Rick Dees as a guest singing his hit Disco Duck. And the follow-up Disco Mania or Duck Mania or something. So it's not like any white guys did any better than us. It's just all Mexicans. So you know what happened? The rating service now has just weighted all of the books toward Mexicans. Like what I'm saying is, if a Mexican guy fills out a ratings book, it counts for 9 billion people. If they manage to figure out... First of all, regular white people can't figure out how to fill out those ratings books. How could Mexicans figure it out? I mean, they're having trouble with the language. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
It is very difficult to fill out a ratings book.
It's not possible for this to be happening.
Yeah, it's not. But statistically, you could make it happen.
You think that only educated Mexicans are running across.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you brilliant Mexicans are, you know, rocket scientists are heading over the border.
Under that barbed wire.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, like, I got to read this crap. Raunchy morning personality Howard Stern appeared to be slipping off his king of all media throne. Drawing his lowest ratings in Los Angeles in 2 years. By the way, we dropped 1 point. 1 point. At the same time, Spanish language, like that's my competition, the Spanish station. Yeah. Like my audience left us and went to the Spanish station. Right. This is what this article is implying. This is the analysis of the ratings drop. At the same time, Spanish language, KLAX. By the way, our call letters are KLSX.
Yes.
No confusion there. Oh, I hate this business. I just want to get out. I just got to get out. How many more weeks on my contract? How many months left on my contract, Jackie? He's the keeper of the contract.
Well, we could actually say 10 at this point.
Well, how can we say that?
How could you?
You're not counting January?
Yeah.
Good.
January's almost over.
Yeah, it's only January 3rd or something.
January will be a farewell month, so it won't even make a difference, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and plus, I don't think I'll have to work in November. The station will want to hire my replacement and just give me some severance.
Off, right, and give that guy some time to build.
Yeah, and us time to build our new homes in Montana. Hey, let's all move to the same place when we get out of this. Let's go to some place that you can live cheap.
You want to live where Jackie would live?
Sure, why not?
I gotta be by the bay.
Oh, that's right.
Find a bay.
Yeah, I'm going to stay here, guys. You guys go. Thanks for asking, though. That's nice of you asked.
I'll drive by.
Yeah.
Nancy and I'll jump in the car. You just never know when we'll show up.
You know, I think I still got a few good more years left of me. I'm going to see if I can't make it as a screenwriter or...
Go ahead and choose between living with me or Quivers. Flip that coin.
I already flipped it. I'm with her.
Good luck.
Yeah. We'll give her some party. She thinks she's a party. All right, here we go. Stern, whose syndicated radio show is heard locally, has dropped from 1st to 5th place during the fall ratings period. That put him in a tie with his nemesis, Rick. Nemesis. This is my nemesis. The guy's a nebbish. That's what he is. He's not a nemesis.
His nebbish Rick.
His nebbish Rick Dees. I'm sure Howard will have some comment about tying with Dees, said the program director, Warren Williams. That's our program director. I don't know. I never even met him.
Yeah, don't even recognize that.
I think he's a new guy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I had a little talk with the Los Angeles station, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They had a guy there in the morning who was taking entire chunks of our show to tape the broadcast and leaving them out.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. He decided that they were offensive.
Oh.
So I just found out about it.
Those strange faxes.
Yeah, well, I ignored them, and I just found out about it for real, and I called up and I went ape. And I said, you know what, why don't we just pull the plug on this whole little experiment?
Wow.
Why don't we get the whole damn show off the air in Los Angeles? I can handle that. I'll go on. And now I think we have it all straightened out. Because Andy called me and said he didn't know about it. No one knew about it. And now it's all going to be better. You know, come on. What are you doing? You're putting the show in the hands of some guy I don't even know? See, this is what I mean. This is why I hate this stinking business. What do you want, Gary?
No, I just brought you some... Someone said you wanted Rick D's.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
Papa Flunky.
So now you're saying you hate the business...
Right.
Because of all these different people?
Yeah. Well, now we got it all straightened out, and everything's cool, and it's never going to happen again.
Well, you know, this is part of the way we run this network, shall we say.
Yeah. Well, I always get weird reports, and I ignore them because it's like when I was up in Albany, some guy told me, one of the state troopers, he says, hey, you know, they're playing your show in the afternoon. I said, what? What do you mean they're playing my show in the afternoon? They're not allowed to do that. That'll destroy us. You can't do that.
Was it true?
No. Wasn't true at all. But I went into a frenzy when I was up there at the inauguration. I thought our Albany affiliate was just playing the show in the afternoon, like playing it in the morning and then playing it in the afternoon. I said, you can't do that. And I went crazy, and I'm making all these phone calls, and the guy says he heard it on 2 separate occasions. I said, you know what you probably heard? You probably heard a promo.
Yeah.
He goes, I drove home for an entire half hour and listened to you guys in the afternoon. That's what he said. The guy was, I mean, unless the guy was hallucinating. I said, wait, let me get this straight.
Well, how did he do it if they say it's not happening?
I don't know, but I was going nuts. I mean, I was like out of my mind. You see, this is what, so I've decided to ignore all these things, and then you find out, well, one of them is real. That some guy in L.A. is just lifting off half of our show and taking it off the air. Like literally things that we ran didn't run in L.A. Could you imagine? And I don't know about it because I figured they're hallucinating.
And nobody even thinks to call up and say, you know, I'm having a problem here. What do you think?
Yeah, right. But it was some guy, you know, I don't know whose direction he was doing it. They claim it was under the general manager, but the general manager is gone now. He's parted with the station. So nobody knows anything. And I can't get a straight answer out of anyone. Maybe he was a Spanish guy. He was trying to undermine our show, so the Spanish station.
He actually worked for that other station.
Yeah, so... Anyway, so our program director says ratings are subject to some strange wobblings at times, but over the long haul, I have no doubt in my mind that Howard Stern is the premier morning talent in America and in Los Angeles. The top honors for the hotly contested morning drive time race went to the zany team of Juan Carlos Hidalgo and Jesus El Palladio Garcia.
It's Juan and Jesus who are beating us?
No. Juan Carlos Hidalgo and Jesus El Palladio Garcia, who have been in first place several times during the past few years.
Yeah, Juan and Jesus.
Yeah, of course. Who just so happened to be on a station called KLAX when we're on KLSX.
And I'm sure it's just as easy to flip over to them as it is to listen to us.
Oh, yeah, and I think that all the listeners who listen to us would probably tune over to a Spanish station to see what's going on. Yeah, I think that's where we went down. According to these ratings, we didn't lose our audience to anyone except Spanish stations. So I have to put up with this every year. I have to put up with this.
Well, also, you know, when these people tamper with the show, it's not their name that appears in the headline.
No. You won't read about that. You'll read about that Howard Stern sucks.
Yeah,
great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, great. Now, the other Spanish team, KPWR's morning team of the Baca Boys, Eric and Nick Vidal.
The Baca Boys.
Yeah, the Baca Boys. KPWR put on they fired Jay Thomas and put on a Hispanic morning show. that rocketed to the top. So I guess white people don't exist in Los Angeles. Don't listen to the radio.
No, they don't have radios anymore.
So I got to deal with this.
They've given up on it.
So I'm dealing with it. I don't know. So
I don't know why you say white people, though. I mean, other people listen to us. It's English-speaking people.
Well, they're mostly white people. I like to think of it that way. I believe it's white people. I don't know. That's okay. That's okay. I don't mind waking up and reading this crap. And then I was having a perfectly good weekend, and it happened on Saturday that I learned about it.
Oh.
And everyone was trying to keep it from me so it wouldn't ruin my weekend. But I read about it on Prodigy. I was like, oh, man, not again. Every year I have to be embarrassed by this. Every year this happens. I got to be embarrassed by this with the Spanish station. And they go around crowing, you see, we beat him.
Our
star. I don't buy it, okay?
We beat you.
I don't give a rat's ass. I'm still number one in Los Angeles, and I know it. I know we are. Because I know it. When I know something, I know it. And that's that. Got to take my coat off. And the people of Los Angeles better give us the ratings, because if they don't give us the ratings, fine, we'll be gone. Or I'll change my name to Senor Stern, and...
or we'll leave you to the Baca Boys.
Yeah, the Baca Boys and Juan and... Jesus. Juan and Jesus. White people, you better wake up. Start speaking out for your rights. You going to let a bunch of Mexicans take over?
Don't you start with this is our country crap.
Yeah. Hey, it's your radio. It might not be our country. This is the Alamo radio. I'm your last holdout. I'm in here trying to hold out the country for you guys, and you're disappointing me. Yeah, that's good. But a bunch of Mexicans take over the radio.
I really would like... We got to go have somebody look at the diaries.
Yeah.
I would love to see these Spanish diaries that are filled out so well.
Well, you know what it is. They put like KL or an X or something, and they, if one of our listeners doesn't, work his whole situation out properly with, keeping track of the ratings, then it gets attributed to a Spanish station. It could, that's the potential. You didn't see what happens?
But what about the Hispanic person's diary?
Well, that's the point.
Do you really mean they're weighted more heavily?
Yeah.
Because very few of them come in, probably.
Yeah, you probably get one.
So if one guy fills out KL,
I don't know what happens, but I know how the system works, and I know how things are done with ratings, and one guy's opinion counts for 900 people, or 900 million people. And it's just, you got to live and die by this stuff.
I really would like to know what those diary entries are.
I don't know, but all I know is every year we go through this in Los Angeles. Every year we go through the Spanish station takes away all our listeners, and then somehow we get them back.
And nobody ever questions.
Well, I do, but nobody cares what I say. They think it's just sour grapes.
They just wonder about the rating service. They don't wonder why these giant fluctuations
they do.
keep going on.
They wonder about it. But, look, it's not their career hanging in the balance. It's mine. It's yours. Not Fred's. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Yeah, I've talked about it. I'm sure some people think I wasn't going to talk about it, like try to hide my head in the sand.
Yeah, pretend it didn't happen, like an ostrich.
No, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, I need to ask Jackie a question.
A Jackie question. Go ahead.
Jackie was scheduled to play up here in Albany. I bought tickets, I don't know, a couple of months ago. What's going on, Jackie? Where are you at, buddy?
Jackie?
Jackie has no clue.
Well, we're waiting to hear the answer. I'm curious.
This was a lot more than a couple months ago. I don't know, the guy...
It's an hour drive, 2-hour drive.
I'm not talking.
Why? Well, let's hear the answer.
I don't know the answer. The guy canceled the show on me, and I think he told all the people that I canceled it.
They told all the people that, we can't have our money back because you're still not sure what's going on.
Absolutely untrue. And I called the agent that booked it at least 5 times and told him to try and find out what happened because somebody else like you called me and told me this too. And I have done everything I can.
So what am I to do?
Oh, boy.
I don't know, sir.
Say, Jackie, this is customer service.
I know.
What do you mean you don't know? The guy's a fan of yours.
He bought the ticket because of you.
And you're going to leave him hanging?
I guess I am. Tell him to call the guy he bought the tickets from.
The guy, it's the box office.
Sorry. What can I do?
What do you mean? You booked a show there?
Yes.
The guy hired me to do a show, and he canceled it like a week before.
He canceled? Why? Was tickets not selling?
He told me there were no seats sold, and then another kid called me a month later and said he thought it was sold out, that all his friends had bought tickets, blah, blah, blah. What's going on? I said, I have no idea. And I called the agent. I said, will you please find out what's going on? I called him a couple times.
And that's it.
I mean, I'm not going to say the guy's name over the phone.
No, I wouldn't say that.
But who is this? Not the name, but is this a reputable agent? Is this somebody you knew?
Yeah, sure it is. And it's a guy who's been in business up in Albany for a long time, doing shows, and he has the comedy club.
Well, I think you ought to go up to Albany and do a free show for the people. And
there you go.
And you should be the opening act.
Why should I? I'm not involved.
He didn't start this mess.
That's right. You started a mess, and I got to get involved? I think you got to make it up to your fans, your Jackie fans.
That guy's sitting out there, he paid good money, he's not getting his money back.
He can't wait to see your show.
How many times do you get that kind of demand?
This really does suck because it always comes back to the
performer.
The performance.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jackie says he doesn't know anything about it.
So I'm SOL. This guy's off and running with my money.
The guy who runs the local comedy club.
Sir, how much money did you pay?
I don't know, $10, $15, but it's not at a comedy club. It's at a regular.
But I'm telling you, the guy that
venue.
I'm telling you, the guy that produced the show is the guy that owns the local comedy club.
The local comedy club. All right.
All right. Look.
I'm telling you where to go to get your money, and you're not listening to me.
All right, then, Jackie, please. All right. Thank you. This is Jackie's world.
Jackie business.
Jackie business. Monkey business. Jackie business.
Jokey business.
A simple show. Botched. All it's got to be is Jackie says I'm going somewhere. Guy gets the tickets, shows up, serve a few drinks, let Jackie do his thing.
That's all there is to it.
And I don't know. It's always...
Somehow it got screwed up.
Yeah. Well, see... Yeah.
I called an agent called, and the guy told me no tickets were sold, and another guy called me and said all his friends bought tickets, and then the guy canceled a week before the show.
It's always a nightmare. Jackie's nightmare.
And I don't know what happened after that, but I can't help you, fella. Call the guy who owns the local comedy club.
Hey, you're on your own.
What am I supposed to do?
And it always gets into an angry, belligerent fight.
I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to him.
There's no winning.
I don't want to talk.
I'm not answering that question.
Yeah, wait, I'm not on trial here.
I had the same conversation with another guy just like you.
Right. It's angry. It's always an angry situation.
Don't be angry at that guy. He bought a ticket.
He's a fan of yours. Why don't you try and work it out with the guy? Hey, I told you. You call that guy who owns the local club, and then you'll know what to do.
I'll tell you what, if you're still listening...
I can't be any more clear about it.
Come to the treehouse. Come to the treehouse in Norwalk Friday night.
So we're going to plug in some more. Yeah, the guy from Cleveland.
He's going to truck all the way down to the treehouse.
Yeah. And, you know, and this guy...
I called the agent, and the agent didn't know what was going on, and I don't know what to tell you.
Pal.
Look, pal, I'm telling you where to get your money.
Yeah, right. And it's a cryptic kind of telling. Okay, here's all I'm going to say. The guy owns a comedy club. He owns a club, so I'm telling you where to go.
The local comedy club.
Everyone's tapped into Jackie logic.
Yes, the local comedy club.
Yeah. How many times? Hey, do I have to say it any more clearly? I'm telling you how to get your money back. The guy's got to go down there now with, like, an attorney and get his money back.
But it was supposed to be in a big arena, Jackie. But I'm telling you, the guy who put it together owns the local comedy club.
I can't spell it out to you any more clearly. Yeah?
Tough content.
Why don't you call the guy and find out what's going on? He's doing stuff. You know, if in fact he is doing stuff in your name, you don't know. You got to work it out with the guy.
I told you I already did that.
All right.
He's telling people I canceled. I'm telling people he canceled.
Yeah, who are these people they're telling?
There's no beginning to your
It's a mess. It's a nightmare. And then Nancy calls, and she found out that he's been saying stuff that isn't true about me. And then it always comes down to the performer.
Whenever something like this happens, it always comes down to the performer.
Jackie wisdom. Spinning philosophy. Grandpappy Jackie.
Look, pal.
He's angry at the guy.
You come down to the treehouse, I'll let you in for free.
Yeah, that's a real consoling thought. That's real compassion. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And that's what goes on back in that little office.
Oh, and
Jackie.
on that phone.
Yeah, on that
Absolutely.
phone. We have a jock lounge that Jackie takes over after the show, and you can hear endless conversations like that. That's why I like when these people call up on the air and do Jackie business.
Yeah.
Because I get to hear it.
Look, I pay good money for good shirts. Where are the shirts? People are telling me the letters are running.
Are you still in charge of making the shirts, or haven't you just sort of turned that over to somebody?
I can't wait to see that book.
What's he doing with the shirts?
Oh, I don't know. That was a long time ago where I heard him all with the shirt.
Yeah, the shirt business.
Beautiful.
People are telling me.
Stump the joke man
Those are supposed to be 100% cotton.
He's like in the garment business. Jackie the joke man.
They're supposed to be pre-shrunk. The people are telling me the shirts are shrunk.
The people. What is it, Stuttering John?
There are times that me and Jackie have like lunch, like we're gonna go have lunch about like 11:15.
Yeah, for the Jackie bitch session after the show.
And then Jackie gets on the phone, and for 45 minutes.
Is this at the Friars Club?
No, right over here. He'll leave me just hanging in the halls waiting for him while he does his business.
Well, Jackie business, yeah.
But and then I'll go, Jack, come on. He goes, gets all angry. He goes, come on.
I mean, he invites you to lunch, and then you're standing around the hall. But of course, because since he's paying for lunch,
you gotta wait.
John will wait forever.
Right, John will wait forever.
Very much.
So you wait 45 minutes for Jackie while he does Jackie business.
Jackie business, and it's nonstop call after call, and as soon as you.
And what does he talk about? Do you ever hear the Jackie business?
What he's saying?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I told you I'm not doing the gig unless it's the money I want. And you know.
Yeah, right. The negotiating Jackie.
Yeah.
Oh, my price.
But it's really funny. You know, and then you have to deal with Nancy, and then he hangs
up and calls Nancy.
He's always got a guy who's taping.
Yeah, right. And there's always trouble.
Jackie, can I say this? Is it all right?
Yeah, of course you can.
You know who Jackie's secretary is? Is Nancy's mom.
Yeah, his wife's mother.
So
that's his secretary.
How can I yell at her? She's my wife's mom.
And then Jackie always has some guy apparently in the middle of production on one of Jackie's tapes.
Yeah.
Each tape identical to the previous tape. And I don't know, there's always something. It's a big, and all the tapes are is Jackie doing his stand-up act. So all you have to do is take it and make a copy of it. And there's always problems with the equipment. Jackie's on the phone explaining the equipment to everyone.
Or buying cassettes.
Yeah, right. Purchasing cassettes.
Well, now his big thing is that he ordered a TV. And it's been like 5 months.
Now, what did he order the TV for his business?
I guess. It's like a big 70-inch screen.
so he could have a huge Jackie.
God.
And is he in the middle of negotiating that?
Where is the TV? It's been months. We don't get it. I can't set up our new production facility.
He needs a 70-inch screen.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm sitting in the living room. We had this big space waiting for the television.
That's true.
Jackie's mom is just staring at the wall waiting for the TV to show up.
Where's Jackie?
It's like a madhouse. And Jackie constantly on the phone with equipment, like he's yelling at his wife.
Yeah.
Don't you, wait a second. Hold it. Nancy, I'm telling you, if you just hit the record button, you hit clear on the memory. No, listen to me. If you hit clear on the memory, hit record, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. I've done it 1,000,000 times.
So true. I swear.
Can't they hire like a company to make those tapes?
First of all, I don't know why I wouldn't hire anybody from my family to do anything for me because you're gonna end up yelling at me.
Right.
And it's family stuff.
Your mother-in-law is your secretary?
That's been going on for a long time.
She's been working with us for 6 years.
Yeah, that's going on for a long time.
So what happens when she has to come to you for a raise?
She has to go to her daughter.
Is that right?
No, we treat her very well.
Yeah.
Sure.
What do you pay her?
She's getting the money anyway.
She doesn't have to join a union.
What do you pay someone like
your mom?
Like your mom.
Same as you pay Ganji.
Oh, yeah? That little?
Pretty insulting.
It's pretty insulting. You can get away with paying Ganji, though, not your mother-in-law.
Yeah, that's a grown woman.
That's a woman who has to feed a family. What does she do for you?
I'm staying out of this.
What?
Come on, what's your mother-in-law do for you? Seriously.
No, you guys were having a great time making it up. Why don't you just keep going?
Well, no, I'm just curious. I don't know what she does.
She works at the Off Our Rockers business office.
Right. And what does she do? I mean,
she sends out the mail order.
Right.
And
she mails stuff out.
Handles the West telemarketing stuff that comes in from the 800-323-KING orders.
Right.
And?
Is that it, pretty much?
Fields phone calls.
All right. I see.
Well, why are you always on the phone?
Why do you have so much aggravation? Is she not doing her job properly? Can she handle stuff? I mean, why do you seem very aggravated. You seem very aggravated, but very, very mundane kind of business things. I was thinking that you're the chief operating officer.
You have to make a phone call.
No, but you're the main talent. You're the Jackie talent. Why do you have to?
Your buddy Love.
You can go into a room and close the door and make a phone call. I don't have that Liberty.
I see.
So I'm sitting there waiting for, I have to walk out there every once in a while and see if...
But, when Howard...
ear to the door.
When Howard does a videotape, I don't hear him arguing about the cost of each tape cassette.
And you've heard me do this.
Yeah, but it's not like that. Howard will talk to one person. You talk to 12 people.
No, I'm saying you're the talent. Why are you...
John, Gary had complaints that he couldn't get any calls in the office because you're on the phone during the show with 15
that's a lie.
stockbrokers.
That's a lie.
Well, none of this is lies.
This is all true. I sit there and wait for you. You know I do. For about an hour sometimes on end, just waiting, watching you. Hang up. Another one. Wait. And, it's like, come on, you know
You're always talking to
I'm sorry.
The guy who runs the club, the guy who makes the cassette,
you gotta get an agent.
sells the T-shirts.
Because I know he's always yelling at some club guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jackie, get an agent to do that.
Night.
Yeah.
You don't understand. You're asking me to show up on a Wednesday night. You can book anybody in there. I can book Jerry Seinfeld on a Wednesday night. You can't fill a club.
Anybody can fill a club on a Saturday. You need me for a Wednesday.
Right. That's why I want what I want.
I got to do this radio interview. Then I got to do the show. They don't want me to sleep. They don't care if I sleep. They don't care.
Yeah, who doesn't care if you sleep?
This is the latest one.
Oh, yeah?
I got to do, I don't want me to come on and do the radio show. Then I got to do the show. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. What do you want? How am I going to do a show? I haven't slept. What am I going to do a show?
So who's he complaining to?
I don't remember you were doing some show and there was some...
Who didn't want him to sleep?
No, some affiliate, wanted to have you on to promote it like at 6 at night, but you had the show at 8 and you had to drive this, so you weren't going to get any sleep before the show. You remember this? Come on.
He remembers.
Of course I do. I
That whole empire. Just watch it. Can't we just get the camera on him so I can watch him run his empire? Can we follow you around like Real World and just follow you around for like 2 days?
I'm sorry, you can't do that.
And like go home and watch you working with your mother-in-law and stuff?
I would love just to sit with him on the phone.
Hi, Mom. I can't call you Mom now because you're working. Hi, Nancy's mother.
What's your mother-in-law's name?
Eileen Seidel.
Eileen?
Hi, Eileen. I have to call you Eileen. After hours, I'll call you Mom. Now, look. You got to start doing things right, Eileen. I'm going to throw you the hell out of here.
I fire her on a regular basis.
Big company. Oh, hey, look. God bless you. You seem to be happy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everything seems to be running smoothly.
What's going on with the 70-inch TV? Is that going to be hooked into your whole production facility, or is that just going to be for fun?
Just for entertainment?
Yeah. 70-inch, boy, that's some screen.
I ordered a big Sony TV for our living room, and we ordered it in September, and it hasn't come yet. So it's a drag.
See, aren't you glad you stayed with the show, man? Look at you buying 70-inch TVs. It's nice to be able to afford stuff.
Oh, it's so good.
You could have gone back to being a hippie on the road in those strip clubs. Now you get things like a 70-inch TV.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Who did you order it from that it takes so long to get to?
Yeah, who did you order it from? Straight from Japan?
Would you get the catalog?
If you order from Japan, you can get a lot of money off.
Pretty much.
What do you mean? Who waits for a TV? Wait, you ordered it when?
September.
Who'd you order from?
Who did you order it from? Did you order it from a regular company?
It's nobody's business.
See? He got a catalog.
Right. I know there's some story here.
Hey, look at this. I'm not going any reputable firm.
You ordered a 70-inch TV. What brand?
Sony, he said.
Sony?
Television. Yeah, the new Sony 61 XBR. It's beautiful.
So why can't you get it? I don't understand. Seriously, why can't you get it? What are they telling you?
It just hasn't become available yet.
They didn't make it yet.
Jackie ordered from the prototype.
Yeah.
Well, if you're willing to wait, they can reduce the price.
You can save $20.
I haven't seen the art television. It hasn't even been made yet.
Have they made them yet? Is that what's going on?
I have never seen one.
So why did you order
no
it?
evidence. It looked real nice in the brochure.
You saw a brochure and you ordered it, and now they haven't been able to
deliver. Did you order
it
directly from the company?
And we're waiting patiently.
Are there no other 70-inch TVs you could have ordered? I mean, seriously.
Probably.
Right. Why don't you call them up and threaten them? You know you're good at that.
Again?
Yeah.
Again.
And just say, look, why don't you just order for someone else that has it in stock? Are there no dealers? Or would it have cost?
First-name basis with every Sony distributor on the East Coast at this point.
Yeah.
Phone calls I made. And those phone calls John has heard.
Does anybody have a 70-inch TV that you know, a Sony 70-inch TV?
There's no evidence it exists except in the brochure.
I see.
It might be a drawing.
Did you pay for it yet?
Yeah.
Oh, Jackie.
Great.
That's evidence.
And are there 70-inch TVs other than Sony?
61-inch.
Oh, there is a 61-inch.
61-inch XBR.
Would you be willing to have one of those right now if you could get your money back and just get the 61, or you want to hold out for the 70-inch?
The 61 is what he got.
Oh, the 61 is what he got.
Yeah.
There is no other 61-inch TV around?
I don't know.
I see.
The one I paid for, and we're waiting patiently for it.
And who talked to you?
They said it might take as long as till Thanksgiving. They just didn't say which Thanksgiving.
Wow. Well, there must be some TV.
No, it was last Thanksgiving. They said it might take as long.
Oh.
Wow.
It might not get till Thanksgiving. I said, that's all right.
Well, you're a very patient man.
Sure.
All right, very good. That's Jackie business. A lot of people want to know what's going on with Jackie. Now you know everything.
And I'll be in Albany very soon.
Good. That wraps up our Jackie Hour.
Thank you very much.
I'll be contacting Elvis today. Also, the Ku Klux Klan message that everyone's been waiting for. Joan Rivers stopping by. It's a very full show. Very full show. A lot of people excited. And, yes, we will call Gary Marshall today and find out what he meant by this gift.
Excellent.
All right. We'll be back right after these words.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
And Jackie.
All right, Jackie's Wild Comedy CD and cassette, $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Big Joke Land special, buy two, get one free. Jackie's mother-in-law rushed that right out to you. Call 1-800-323-KING. And Friday night, January 13th, at the Treehouse Comedy Club in Norwalk, Connecticut. For filthy jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service.
Could you have your mother-in-law working for you?
No. I would just give her the damn money and just say, stay home.
Yeah.
If you need it.
Or go volunteer somewhere, don't come round here no more.
Hey, I'm not just going to give her the money and make her work for it. Get cracking!
She wants to do something for money.
We got damage control. We got big problems, Eileen. Some guy called in complaining. Find out where he lives and have him killed.
Thank you, Jackie Bobby. You know, I can do a whole show just based on what goes on in the office around here. I walk out in the hall, and Ganji, my intern, and Stuttering John, my other intern, are yelling at each other because it seems Stuttering John moved from his apartment, and Stuttering John became Ganji's landlord. Ganji moved into Stuttering John's old apartment.
He did move in.
So it seems that at 11:15 last night, Ganji calls Stuttering John in the middle of the night, 11:15. For us, that's the middle of the night.
Yes.
And Ganji says, hey,
that sink is leaking.
Yeah, the sink is leaking. So John goes, it's 11:15 at night. What do you want me to do? You know, his father takes care of that usually.
Right.
Ganji lived in his father's house.
And
Dad, the sink is leaking. All right, son, I'll take care of it.
What do you want me to call a plumber?
Yeah. What does he want you to do? What?
Have some advice. That's what I wanted.
It's John. He has no advice.
Well, I should have remembered that it's John and he would have no advice. Yeah. I shouldn't have called him that. I shouldn't have called him that late. But we left the message early in the afternoon.
The place is a dump.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot more wrong than just a sink leak.
It's been nonstop. You know, like when I first gave it to him, he goes, hey, John, could you pay for having a new floor put in?
Because the floor.
Kidding.
Did you see the movie The Super?
No.
Did you see the movie The Super?
He doesn't own the apartment. He just rented it. You knew what the apartment was when you rented it.
No, I actually didn't. You
didn't go look at it?
No, Gorilla did, and I didn't think it was that bad because I had been in it a while ago, and it wasn't that bad. And
it was
John must have destroyed the place.
Dump.
It is a dump, but for the money he's paying, he's paying for a dump.
Yeah, right.
But hey, Robert, didn't we agree? No hassles, right? I'll give him the apartment.
I don't understand. Why did you leave your parents' house when you had a nice room, nice hot meals? You're going to go live in some dive that, there's paint chip falling off the ceiling.
Leaking. Everything's about
you got a shower in the kitchen in a tub.
There's no bathroom light.
Get out of my camera, will you? What? What?
I don't know what the hell I did.
You didn't do anything. I don't want you blocking my camera. You walked into the room and did nothing but block my camera.
No, but see, a girl left a message for an hour long about this problem, but I got home at 10:30. I'm not going to wake him up at, I don't even have his number anyway.
Ganji, why would you leave your parents' house? To do what? To suffer through every night of like taking a shower in hell?
I just didn't. I don't know.
You don't think about anything, do you?
Absolutely, I did. I thought
you're so
hard
stupid.
About that.
He works out on Long Island with you. He's still working out there, right?
So and then that's it. Don't even go into that.
Oh my
The
God.
other job is that he works for me out on Long Island. That's really his job. I let him come in here and play pretend he's a cameraman.
Right. So now he's got to commute.
So now he has to come from the city out to my house and then go back out to the city. He's just like a walking no thinking wall.
That was my choice.
Then he says to us yesterday, I would prefer not to come out to the house anymore.
Oh my God!
I would rather do my work in the city. I go, what does this guy think before he acts? Does he?
No,
you think before you act?
Listen,
you're crazy. You got a job out on Long Island.
I did think about it. Would you be quiet for a second? Can you give me 2 seconds to talk?
You are so poorly thought
I prefer did not come out of my mouth. Second of all, I was just trying to save time.
Why don't you get an apartment in Philadelphia? It's much cheaper there. And then you can commute to New York. None of your jobs. Go as far from where your jobs are as possible.
I would have rather had, Kathy Tobin wanted the place. I wanted her to have it.
You would have had no problems with Kathy.
I know it would be no problems.
Why did you let him do it?
Because I felt bad. And I felt like I'd be being...
Gorilla has no job. He has no money.
Gorilla's not in the apartment.
Yeah, Gorilla's in there, too.
He is?
Yeah, he moved in also.
Oh, my God.
It's a nightmare.
He's got 2 guys who make no money in his apartment.
So first Gorilla calls me, and then I'm sure Gorilla said, listen, I already called him, Ganji, and then you call him. And then Ganji called me.
No, how did you end up as a landlord?
And then you
what I want to know.
You did a very mad sense of your voice, like, John, the sink is leaking, pick up. The sink is leaking.
I didn't say your answering machine message. I said, John, pick up if you're there. John,
but you were mad. Be honest. You were a little mad.
No, absolutely not. I was just hanging out all night.
11:15 at night. He knows you were asleep.
I know. I was.
Because he wasn't even home all night. So I thought he just got home.
I remember the famous last words. Once we get the apartment, we'll never have to bother John again. All we'll have to do is pay him rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen. Last night, Ganji.
So whose responsibility is it to get the sink fixed?
No, I can get it fixed, but not at
I know when I rented apartments, I had to get the sink fixed.
Yeah, but no, I can...
No. You call the landlord.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
No.
Really?
Yeah, I can probably get it fixed, but not at 11:30 at night. I mean, who am I going to call 11:30?
I don't know, man. I've actually rented apartments where it was like they rent you the apartment, and if something goes wrong, you get a guy in to fix stuff. You have to pay him. My landlord never took care of it.
I don't know. It seems to me that the landlord is responsible for repairs to a building he owns.
But he doesn't own it.
But he's taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Then he has to call somebody.
No, I know, but 11 o'clock, no one's going to be around. It's an office hours. And plus, Howard, get a load of this.
Yeah.
It doesn't leak if they don't turn the sink on.
Right.
So
it's the only sink we have.
All right, so you can't wait till 5 o'clock in the morning.
I can't brush my teeth.
You can't wash to work. We have to get me up at 11:30, bring up your toothbrush to work, and then I'll call at 9 o'clock.
Why do you need this aggravation, John?
I don't, and I told him...
Are you making any money on this?
No, not really. It's a little bit,
A little
stipend.
Stipend?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, you should. I mean, if you're going to put up with this kind of nonsense...
If you're making money, they
But believe me, Howard, people have offered me a lot more than they're paying. So,
really?
Yeah. So, even Kathy Tobin.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, but I thought I'd be a nice guy.
But good luck with that.
You got Baby Ganji living in.
Yeah, Baby Ganji's used to having stuff done for him. You don't understand.
I don't know how, it's a 6th floor walk up. I don't see Ganji doing that for too much longer.
I can handle that.
Find any more of John's drugs in the apartment?
Just toenails. Just a lot of toenails.
Oh.
I had to practically, I was on my hands and knees with a vacuum sucking up the carpet because there was so many toenails in it. It was so.
What are you doing, man? You could have had your mom vacuuming for you. What are you doing?
You had the light.
This is why he does it, because you make fun of him for living with his mother, so now this is why.
He had a great scene. He had a great room.
But you make fun
all
of him.
the meals.
He was close to work.
But you make fun of him, so you want...
I don't make fun of him at all.
What is this deal he wants to work in the city now?
Yeah, so now he says,
oh, no.
I could do the work in the city because it's a hard thing to get all the way out to Long Island. I said, I don't need this guy anymore. I'll get somebody else to come to Long Island. Just get out. Get out of my life.
I wish we could tape record everything.
Why?
Because that's not the truth.
All right, okay. Maybe I'm hearing it all wrong.
Exactly.
Tell me what you want to do.
What did you ask?
What did you say?
Exactly what I said. Because while I'm here at the show, right, I do articles when I'm not doing.
He's working on putting some articles together.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, listen, I'm doing articles here, and then I travel 2 hours out the island and do articles there. I was like, why can't I come out for 2 hours?
The reason you travel 2 hours is because now you...
Well, I have to take the train.
Yeah, but you travel 2 hours because it used to be on your way home. Now you better stay in the city.
It has nothing to do with that.
Of course it does.
No, it's still
you used to go home every day.
2 hours in between.
Yeah, of course.
And so instead of taking 2 hours where
because
I'm on a train and stuff,
because Ganji can't work on his own, he has to be supervised.
Is that why you have to have
of course.
Okay.
That's such a crock. I work on my own so much.
Oh, you're so slow,
God.
Ganji.
I'm slow. That's such a crock, and
you
you
did
know
15 articles yesterday.
Yeah.
4 hours.
There was also 900 guests here.
Yeah.
I'm running in between. I'm logging tapes. Yeah, okay.
I hired you to work at my house because you were right there. In other words, you were at my house.
Right.
I needed you to just, like, if the phone rings sometimes to pick it up, or if I have a videotape.
Right.
So who wants you in the city unsupervised doing nothing? He's wacky. He's wacky. So he moves into the city when he's supposed to be working out with me, and now it's a problem for him because he's got to commute both ways now.
I thought I'd be saving 2 hours where I could work.
No, don't save 2 hours. Do me a favor, don't think.
Why didn't you discuss this before you moved?
He doesn't. That's the point. He doesn't.
Discuss what?
Discuss where you're going to live.
I thought it was a good idea. I said, you know what?
But you didn't
I'm wasting 2 hours a day commuting. I should be working on during those 2 hours.
Hey, Ganji, what if I just start paying you because you breathe?
I mean, do that?
Yeah, why don't I just do that? Every time you take a breath, I'll pay you.
Okay.
All right? Because that's worthwhile to me.
Ganji, do you want to
I told you you're worthwhile to me if you're at my house. If you're not there, then go get another job. Leave me alone already.
Howard, I was doing a good thing.
No,
there was
you're not
2
doing
hours,
anything good.
2 hours during the day that was wasted commuting.
His work is out there, but he wants to be doing it here. He wants to recreate his job. I don't need you here. I need you out there. So why would you take an apartment in the city?
Howard, he used to drive back into Long Island.
Because I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning out the island to get in here.
Yeah.
And I'm getting pretty sick of getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
All right, so then you have no problem.
Here I get up at 5.
You don't have to get up at 3 o'clock.
Now you don't have to get up. Now you're getting up. What time do you get up now?
5.
All right, so there you go.
Now he spends 2 hours in traffic coming back to the city because it's rush hour.
Right.
But
and 2 hours in traffic going out to my house.
I'd rather do it at night than in the morning.
Fine, then you're doing it.
Right, exactly. That's exactly why I moved in.
All right, good. So get out. You make no sense. I can't get competent help.
That's the problem.
I'm trying to do the best I can for you. You came to me. You couldn't get a job anywhere. I tried to create some source of income for you. I'm doing my best for you.
And you keep trying to get out of that?
And you keep trying to get out of it. So get out of it already. Go live with Gorilla. He makes no money. He's doing just fine.
Good thing. I said
all right, you're doing
2 hours
good. All right, thank you. Turn off your microphone. Goodbye. All right, get out. Get out.
He wants to work by himself, huh?
Yeah. Wants to work on his own.
That he's ready to go off on his own.
Yeah, he thinks he's going to accomplish something on his own.
Talking about me.
Producer.
Call Stuttering John. He'll figure it out. All right, John. Thank you. Stuttering John, the landlord. I tell you something. It's very funny, the whole thing. I want to play the Ku Klux Klan message. I don't want to talk to these guys anymore. I got to take a break.
I hate to say I'm psychic, but I told John that's exactly what would happen to him.
Yeah. Getting calls at 11 o'clock at night. From the two nitwits. Instead of them just calling a plumber and then sending the bill to John or something, it's...
Yeah, it's the middle of the afternoon. They can't get a hold of John. Get it fixed.
Yeah.
No, they're calling at 11:30 at night still asking John what to do.
Right.
Oh, it's just starting. Wait till they lock themselves out.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. It's going to be great.
I told him he'd have him on there all the time.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back right after these words. Sorry. You're listening for it. By the way, what is today? January what? 10. Now, my birthday is January 12th.
Constantly thinking about yourself.
Tricking you into admitting it.
Here we are talking about Elvis, and all of a sudden you're wondering what day it is so you can check on your birth date.
If this is January 10th, that means in 2 days, the birthday show should occur.
You're doing a birthday show countdown?
Yeah, and the birthday show is always a great show with lots of celebrities and lots of merriment and gifts.
There's nobody in town.
Big band. It's a whole big production.
And we have no budget.
But let me say something.
Stop making a big deal.
Yeah, but let me say something. I think this year will be the best birthday show because Tom certainly is going to do something even more spectacular than Tavern on the Green. Not that I wouldn't be satisfied, but like maybe he's going to take it into a whole new, maybe you guys pushed him into a whole new arena, some sort of like weird place, and there's going to be extra special guests, and maybe it's going to be a whole different thing.
You act like this is a special birthday.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just have a feeling that it's going to be wild this
And do you
year.
think that Tom has undergone some sort of, reawakening?
Robin maybe pressured him into it.
Don't you know, Tom, by now that when you do something once, it is tradition?
And all I know is that last year, the station gave me a Leroy Neiman painting. This year's going to be even bigger.
Well, I wouldn't hold out for a lot of great gifts as far as that.
Really? Well, I'm really quite...
In fact, I would admonish that's warn people who are looking to give you a gift, if that were their wish,
right,
to insist that they be given some guidance.
No, let me just say something. No, wrong.
I'm saying this.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that people who really want to know what Howard would like for a birthday present.
Yeah.
Now, I have no idea if you're having a party or not.
Right.
And I have no idea if people want to give you a gift or not.
Right.
But if somebody were to be looking to give you a gift,
right.
I know that you have made some effort to tell people what you might like.
Well, I'm registered at Fortunoff's.
And what I would say to them is to call someone and insist that they be given that list.
What is she saying? I don't even know what Robin's saying. She's being so cryptic. Explain to me what she's saying. Robin, you've tried 2 attempts. Now Gary gets to explain what you're saying.
In a hypothetical situation, you know, if
I have put together a list of gifts.
If there were going to be gifts and there was a list
that Robin is encouraging people to call for those gifts,
and people wanted to know
what's on
that list, you know.
Oh, in other words, what you're saying is
swayed by somebody in charge who would tell them not to get something that's on that list.
Oh, okay, all right. I hear you now. I understand. All right, it took 3 times. Let me just say something. Why don't we read that list on the air? Because I think I know what you're saying.
What would you like? There's a good idea.
You want to know what I want for my birthday this year?
I would love to know what you would
Do you
want.
have the list?
No, I don't.
See, no offense, Rob, no friggin' Great Garloos or lobster scissors, all right, Jackie? I don't want lobster scissors. Fred came and he goes, I got my gift from Jackie. I go, yeah, what'd you get? He goes, I guess I got what everyone else got. I got these scissors. What are they?
See, he gave us the scissors and no lobster.
Yeah, right. I got a lobster with him.
It didn't make sense.
So I knew what it was.
I didn't know what kind of scissors
Fred got scissors and he went, oh, but what am I supposed to do with the scissors? I don't get it. Is it a joke?
See, I couldn't figure out the joke with the 2 scissors.
I'll do you one better than that. I know somebody that Jackie gave them to.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, Jackie gave me an extra set and returned one of them. They didn't know what 2 were for.
That's true.
I don't know.
I got the scissors and a fake lobster, a tiny little foam lobster that you can add water to and it becomes 200 times its size.
Well, he really goes all out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there,
He loves gadgets. Jackie's like a real gadget.
Yeah, but it's
lover.
like cheap gadgets.
But the best part to me was that he wrapped the box. They had put the box together themselves.
It's the kind of gift you get and you're like so disappointed. You know what I mean? It's a lobster scissor.
When I see Jokeland or, all the little things for, because they even drew on the box and stuff.
Yeah, right.
I knew.
Yeah.
Not to get my hopes up.
Hey, we put a lot of effort into that. We even drew on the box.
Is that the gift list?
Yeah.
All right,
Why don't you read that?
All right, let me just say something. Let me tell you what happened. I every year I'm disappointed by the gifts I get for my birthday show. Our sponsors, listen,
they try their best.
I mean, I'll tell you my expectations. I expect Tom to walk in with like 500,000 shares of Infinity stock this year. I really do.
I wouldn't hold your breath.
That's what I expect. And anything less would be disappointing to me.
What is Tom doing in here at this point?
What are you doing? I am doing a show. Goodbye. What are you doing? You just go work on my gift.
Yeah, you bring him. I hear my name mentioned a lot. So that would come in and attempt to defend myself.
Well, about what?
I know that's a microphone, Jay.
All right, here's what I'm saying.
May I also tell you that I think in all the years I've never. You're so far over the line here.
Why? Why? No, let me just say something. Can I just say something? I'm not over the line.
You are.
When you get married, You're
not getting married.
No, let me say something. And since I am
married,
we have listen. This is all I'm saying. Now, hear me out. And I really do mean this. I'm being sincere now. I'm not doing anything for the air or anything like that. In other words, we have a birthday show every year. And clients come in. And some of them even spend a lot of money on
They do.
On hunks of junk.
Right.
They want to give me a gift that means something. And if they're spending the money anyway, get me something that I would be impressed by. Something that I could use. I feel bad. I go home with these
gifts. These are only suggestions. Nobody's twisting an arm.
Calacino from Fidelity Diamond comes in every year with some bauble that I never wear. The gaudiest thing I ever saw.
But he always, I remember he told me once that one of the things he gave you that you didn't like was worth like $3,000.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to spend $3,000 here. I got a list.
There was a guy who brought you something from Steuben Glass. That had to be worth something.
The Steuben Glass. That was from the...
Stupid glass.
Stupid glass, right. That's what we called it, remember? We loved to say, that's not stupid glass, that's stupid glass. The guy from Car Cash got me that, I think. Yeah. I said, gee, Car Cash, I know them so long, and to have this negative feeling toward them, even though I really don't. I mean, I love Car Cash,
right.
But...
Great sponsor years,
all the years.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, you know what I got last year? Honest to God, this is a true story. Now, I think I did a pretty good job for the Roy Rogers Company. And I'm not looking for any gift from them. I love Roy Rogers. I'm a big fan of the food. I'm a big fan of the food. And I'm not kidding. I really am a big fan of Roy Rogers food. I'm thrilled they're on the air with it. But they gave me a hat signed by Roy Rogers.
Yes.
You know what I did with it? I put cat food in it. I mean, really.
Is that really what they gave you?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't remember that?
No. And remember Roy's autograph? Here, I have a copy of it. Here it is. He's an old guy. I mean, yeah, there it is. Okay? Roy's autograph. It's very shaky. So here it is. It's a visual joke. You'll see it on the E! Show. All right, once in a while I throw those in. All right, so here's the point. Yeah. Why am I out of line? I don't know exactly why.
Because you're kind of like... You're shilling for gifts here.
No, I don't want a gift. Listen, I'm saying right now, I don't want a gift.
That is where you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Not shilling.
No, I'm not.
He's just saying,
no, I am not.
If somebody were to give him a gift,
let me read the list.
Be the kind of thing he would love.
Let me read the list of things.
All the subtlety you want here.
It's not shilling for gifts. Let me say.
Not soliciting.
Let me say what I would think is a great gift. Here's what a great gift. You don't have to get this for me.
It's like a Best Buy.
A hat signed by Roy Rogers. It'd be a great.
A new IBM Optra 1200 DPI printer.
What's that?
It retails about $1,800.
Oh,
okay.
That's all?
Well, I'm saying if a guy's going to spend $3,000, why not? Here's something half the price.
Howard's saving the money.
The kids have Christmas lists. Why can't I?
But nobody's spending $18,000.
All right. How about a $200 gift? How's this? Anti-glare filter for 21-inch and 17-inch monitor. About $200.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
This list is like.
All right. Here's something for $100. 5 1/4 read-write optical drive discs. All right. Those are $100 a piece.
You know, I was
it's a nice $100 gift.
I was willing to give you credit for not having created this list. I was originally told you didn't, that it was from other people, but...
Oh, yeah, I thought this up.
See, what I think...
Right, how about this?
Sounds like you should buy them and just give them the bill.
Exactly. What are these things, Howard?
How about a photocopy machine? Somebody who really wants to show their appreciation. Maybe the station even, Tom. It's a good suggestion for you. How about a dictaphone machine? Standard cassettes, not micro, about $200. How about a color scanner? $900, a good piece of office equipment.
That's cheap.
$900.
Oh. Not even for a color scanner, yeah.
Right.
You want 2 or 3?
Just one.
Oh.
Well, I heard that.
I mean, if you want to get me 2, go ahead. I'm not going to tell you what to do. How about the Sony 61-inch 61 XBR TV?
You don't mind waiting till next year?
No, come on. No, seriously, I'm saying that those would be impressive gifts to me. And then one's $200. I'm not looking for an expensive gift. I'm not looking for any gift. I don't want a gift.
That's the
what
point.
he's not looking for is a bunch of junk he really doesn't want.
Right.
I
mean, lobster scissors are okay, but I don't like gag gifts. Remember when seriously, Dial-A Mattress gave me a piece of a mattress, and then they were so embarrassed the next year they gave me the Barker Lounge made out of naugahyde.
I thought they gave you a comforter for it.
No, it was just. And then they gave me a certificate for it. I'm supposed to go pick it up.
Right, yeah. Go to the store and get this.
Yeah.
Pull up in your U-Haul.
Well, thank God.
I mean, those guys love me.
Like I say, thank God we won't have that problem this year.
We're not going to have any problem because there's no party.
Exactly.
Forget about the party. I'm just saying if a sponsor wanted to get me a birthday gift, there it is. Okay, and I know there's going to be a party because that's absurd that it wouldn't be.
Since we're only being hypothetical, what's wrong with reading the list?
Right. Yes, since you're being hypothetical, what do you care? No one's giving me a gift anyway.
Maybe, Howard, maybe.
But Tom thinks that's obnoxious.
For gifts
These are valued clients and everything. And I'm saying, let me go on record as saying something. I would do a great commercial no matter what. If you get me a gift, if you don't get me a gift,
you are a professional.
No, that's right.
I was under the impression that Tom
not when it comes to shilling for gifts, but
did he really?
Maybe what Tom's trying to say cryptically is that the reason he wouldn't give out anything is because you know the station they're getting all these things as a gift.
Right. Yeah.
Not.
Am I going to get Infinity stock for
what?
A sizable chunk of the company for Christmas? I mean, for my birthday? Whatever holiday? Christmas, nothing happens. To show their appreciation? Is that what's happening this year?
You know, I'm not the guy to talk to about that.
Right. No. Obviously, you're not the guy to talk to about a lot of things.
You're not the guy to talk to if you want to know what Howard wants.
Right. All right, very good, Tom. Thank you for raining on my parade again.
Anything I can do.
Yeah, just ruin all my fun.
Anything I can do to bring the show down, you know that.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing it down.
My lot in life.
I understood there was a log jam in the system, so I thought I'd clear it up.
What happened? What happened? You showed the list to Tom?
No, I didn't know anything about this list. Somehow the list got to the station, and whoever saw it said, well, I have to clear this through Tom.
Who saw it,
and
you?
that was the end of that.
Why do you have to clear it through Tom?
I didn't.
It was just in case a client called you and said, hey, do you have any gift suggestions?
No.
That's some things you have to clear through Tom. That you don't.
Hypothetically, what might have happened is it might have gone to Tom's assistant, and she deals with all the salespeople.
No. It shouldn't have been done that way. That was a wrong way to do it. In other words, if somebody inquired about a gift suggestion, then you would have had your list and said, ooh, I know what he needs. And then you would have done it that way. To put out the list to all the salespeople to hand to the sponsors is absurd.
Big mistake to delegate. You're right.
Big mistake. But that wouldn't
I
surprise
guess that
me.
was Mr. Delabate.
Very good. Once again, you made me
went
proud.
through me.
Is that right?
Never went through me.
How did it go?
Who sent it
Where
to
did
Denise?
it go?
Kathy.
Kathy gave it to Denise. No, I'll talk to her later.
Because I didn't know how Tom got involved in this, but he
big
did become
mistake.
involved.
Big mistake.
She's been working hard, and I guess she was trying to delegate like you told us to a couple of weeks ago.
All right, I take back everything I said a couple of weeks ago.
You know what? I don't know what you do when you give directions, but it always causes something like this.
I don't know, but all I'm going to say is I somehow still blame Baba Booey. You really should have been Kathy acting alone. All right, very good. Now I'll end up with doubles. In gifts. I hope that doesn't happen. All right, very good. I don't want duplication. That would be absurd. Make sure the sponsors are coordinated so that they don't all give me the same thing.
Make sure there's no list. They don't just their continued loyalty.
If somebody were to call and ask something, Tom, we would be remiss in not giving an answer.
Well, I'd say there's no birthday party.
Right.
Right. So, and that would end the whole conversation.
But no, the point is who cares if there's a party or not? Maybe they want to give Howard a gift on his birthday.
Well, if they wanted to do that, then they should get something that they deemed appropriate.
But
really?
if they wanted some
you mean
guidance...
you can't ask for guidance?
For that list, for $2,000.
See, you don't know what's on the
those
list.
gifts range from $100 to $2,000.
But he doesn't know what's on the list. Let's say you never saw the list.
Right.
It's not about what's on the list.
I do know what's on the list.
But that...
Make it boy, Tom's really angry about this. Everybody watches. Dave Herman probably gets great gifts.
This is why, Tom's been walking around the halls, and I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
Because he's had a certain look on his face. He's not been the usual Tom. And for
Consider yourself calm down.
I have been wondering what has been wrong with Tom, and it must have been this list.
You mean Tom was acting like there was a dense, thick fog around his head?
Yes. That there was a big cloud.
And you thought that was unusual?
Usually I can see him more clearly through the cloud.
No, I'm upset because they haven't settled the hockey strike yet.
Well, they're going to settle.
Noon today.
Is that right?
Noon today, and then Tom won't have any Rangers to root for this season.
That's right. Well, I don't care. I want gifts. Hey, you know what I thought was a great gift?
The hockey negotiation.
Can I ask you for this? Could Leroy Neiman paint a picture of Fred and give it to me? I don't want that hanging in my house.
You don't know this.
Right.
He's already doing your wife.
Is that right? I didn't know Leroy Neiman was doing my wife.
Oh.
He's not painting it. Somebody's got it.
No wonder she didn't.
Good Lord knows I'm not doing her. All right, listen, why don't we take a break?
And then when you come back, we'll be speaking to Gary Marshall, speaking of gifts.
Oh, I want to do Elvis, but I certainly do want to speak to Gary Marshall.
Did you finish reading your list?
There were a couple of items I didn't get to mention on the list.
I got phone calls yesterday about Elvis. People want Elvis.
They do want Elvis?
Yes.
All right, well, I'll do it. Robin, you'll have to interview Elvis because I'll obviously be Elvis.
Can I just mention one thing on this list that I think is really funny? You talk about narrowcasting. Howard, a Polaroid camera, one that can take close-up pictures of memorabilia clearly.
Right.
I think that's
yeah. We need a high-resolution Polaroid camera. Well, you're asking me what I need.
I didn't ask.
Well, someone did. I didn't tell anybody what I need.
Quite frankly, I don't think we'd want to sit while you open those gifts.
Dave, these are things you need. Putting together the Howard Stern Archive collection.
Yeah, but we're trying to do a show here.
All right. Well, hey, listen. I'll hope for the best. No, really, I don't want a birthday gift. I would be satisfied if no one got me a gift. It just seems senseless to me that people spend money on gifts I don't need. It just seems a waste of time.
Isn't that what birthdays are for?
No. It's stuff that I don't need.
It's not the thought that counts.
When a loyal sponsor gives you a cement block with your name written in it, a stucco block with your name written in it, and I go, maybe they went to expense on this thing too. It didn't look like it was cheap.
No, somebody had to make that.
Not only don't I want that gift, I don't want to carry that home and do the under
I
the
remember
pretense.
that one well.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Need I say more? Or how about all the bad leather jackets with all the weird little 8 balls painted all over them?
Yeah.
This is Howard. You don't understand. This leather jacket is a special collection jacket.
From some guy in Arizona?
Yeah, a guy painted it, hand painted. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is the tackiest jacket I ever saw.
One year somebody gave you a warm-up.
And then I end up yelling at the sponsors at the birthday show. What is it, Ralph?
Can I just say, if anybody gets you a leather jacket, be sure that it fits. It should be long.
Yeah, consult Ralph.
It shouldn't be short.
If you're going to get an article of clothing,
fits you or Ralph.
No, if you're going to get an article,
spend $1,000 on a leather jacket, it might as well fit.
I get all these jackets. I end up giving them to Ralph anyway because they don't fit me.
Oh, you don't even save them for charity so that we
Sometimes I
can
give
give
them
them
to
to those
charity.
auctions? Because that's usually what we get on your birthday is a bunch of stuff we can give to auctions.
You know what? I'd say 99% of the gifts I've received from sponsors, I've given all away to charity. Because they're the worst gifts.
And you're a better man for it.
And they have the worst taste in clothing, our sponsors.
Well, yeah, you don't dress like these people.
I know. Yeah, but nobody dresses like that. Who wears giant 8 balls on a leather jacket and the sleeves have
there must
three-quarter
be
length?
somebody out there.
And they don't fit me.
And they're expensive.
Yeah, it kills me.
Designers, limited editions.
$1,500 jacket.
Yeah.
Instead, he could have an Aptiva or something or other.
Or how about the clients who get me champagne and I don't even drink?
You think cash is tacky?
No, I don't. I don't think there's anything wrong with a cash gift. Cash is king. Cash is king. Isn't that my motto? Oh, I'd say that is my motto if it wasn't before. Well, there it is. All right.
But, Tom, don't try to keep secrets from me. Just, whenever you're doing
I have no
things,
secrets to keep.
Just let me know. We can always resolve
Something's
it
troubling
on the
you,
air
Tom.
without it being
I'll check
some
with Robin.
Check with Robin.
Okay.
silly thing that you're whining about in the hall and pouting.
Were you pouting in the hall to people?
No.
You were pouting. For the last 2 days
Oh,
you've been
absolutely.
pouting.
Tom, I'm a very important man in the company.
Absolutely.
And it's important that I'm happy on my birthday show. That's all. The listeners are upset when I'm upset.
Right.
She doesn't understand that. They hear the birthday. You know how embarrassing it is to have to yell at the sponsors at the birthday show for the bad gifts you're getting?
You know, the monitor might be better, but the brick is much more fun to listen to.
Yeah. It just seems uncomfortable.
Trying to help you make good radio. That's
all
There's been, and you know what? I just have to say one more thing. There's been a couple of years where you have been unhappy with the gift, and the people who've given it to you have either been very disappointed that you're unhappy,
I know,
or have gotten genuinely angry that you've made fun of their gift.
I know. They don't understand that it's
We're
bad.
trying to avoid all that.
There's nothing worse than looking at a whole family pissed off at you.
I know. So a lot of these people are a family, and they're upset that I'm not excited about the gift.
Because it seems that as a family they choose the gift.
Some of the clothing. Oh my God. And how about the sponsors who want to be funny?
Remember the year somebody brought you an electric car for your kids?
Yeah. What am I going to do with that?
a gas
2
car.
years.
It was a gas car. I'm not going to put my kids in that. My kids will explode. I love my kids.
It was sitting around in the hall.
It was a gas-powered engine.
Yeah, it was a lawnmower.
Yeah.
We ended up riding it around the hall once and sticking up the whole rock.
And I never got to bring it home.
The entire building.
And you know what? That had to cost $2,500 easily.
Yeah,
did they end up giving it to Ronald McDonald House or something?
Yeah, sold at the top
like that. Someone told me Frank Flores still commutes in that car. What's he, about 2 feet tall? Yeah. So, I mean, you know, seriously, that's not a cheap gift. And that's absurd. It was a waste of money.
Right.
It was a big waste of money. And I remember the sponsor was upset that I didn't like it. And I yell at the sponsors on the air, and who wants that? Why should we have something uncomfortable? All right, I got to take a break. It's very important. Our sponsors must be satisfied.
Exactly.
All right, let's take a break. Everyone will calm down. Tom now has got it out of his system.
Yes, now he can be back to normal in the hall.
Once again, I'm saying I'm not asking for any gift, but if you're going to get me a gift, at least make it interesting.
Make it worthwhile. You know what would be a good gift? One of those sharp view cams?
Could we do a... Now, there's a good gift.
Can we do this break?
But that's an excellent gift. What is it?
Speaking of gifts, Miss Marshall's on the phone.
All right, hey, listen to this.
Yeah.
Let me take a break, and then I'll talk to Mr. Marshall.
All right.
Okay. All right, we'll be back right after this. You did something bad because she was so convinced you were an angel?
Yeah. She would be like, when I was in 6th grade, I bit a girl. She cut me in line. And it was like, the day they had steakums at the cafeteria, which I found out later is just like not at all meat.
Yeah.
But this girl cut me, and I didn't really bite her. I just like scared her.
Right.
So they call my mom, and they're like, "Amy bit someone." She's like, "You have the wrong number." And I'm like, "Mom, I was just trying to scare her."
But your mother was a pushover. Hey, you have a funny story. You went to Great Adventure one time, or one of those places. And you were waiting in line for a very long time.
I went to Great Adventure.
Right.
And I don't like amusement parks. I think they're horrifying. But I went to Great Adventure, and I was with this family, and they were intense about Great Adventure. They brought us. We had to go there at 6 a.m. so we could go through the stupid safari. We saw like one thing that might have been a monkey, but I think it was just like a stuffed animal. It was like a pigeon wearing ears. And then we waited for the Scream Machine, and there's a special line where you can wait to sit in the front seat because that's the best seat because you look like you're going to die.
Right.
So we wait for hours, and then it's our turn to sit in the front. And who gets to cut the whole line and take our seat? Robin. Robin cut us.
Robin
on the screen
Quivers.
machine. Robin Quivers. You cut us.
Yeah, you evidently.
Human being. And we're all going, Robin. Robin. We've been
Did
waiting.
she get booed?
No, everyone was really excited to see her. She knew everyone loves her. She smiles, and everyone.
Great Adventure was a sponsor of ours. I remember this, and because if you were a VIP, so to speak, you got to cut in front of the line.
Well, they had somebody bring me around to every ride.
Right, so you know, you don't.
It was way more exciting to see you than it was. No one was pissed. Everyone was like.
Well, it's funny because they were a sponsor of ours. So Gary gets told, "You can go to Great Adventure. You'll be able to cut in line."
Yeah.
He brings his wife, his 2 kids. They go. He cuts right in the line. He said he got booed so badly, and people started taunting him in front of it and his children and everything because well, in front of his, they were taunting the kids too because you know what, people had waited in line a really long time,
right?
And all of a sudden, look who's here, Gary.
Money bags,
yeah, money.
No, well, he doesn't have that
He
smile.
said it was
He doesn't
so
have
bad.
You know what it was? It was. I realize now, especially hearing Amy's story.
Yeah.
Like the woman who brought us around, she said, "Oh, you know, I had Chris Rock last week and everything." So I figure if you're going to get cut, you expect Chris Rock to walk up. You see me, like what the fuck?
What a disappointment.
So you were. I was reading notes on you. You were a really bad person because you used to shoplift. You'd get into big trouble.
Wow. God, did I say that in my interview?
Yes,
yeah. I got arrested a couple times.
She got arrested a couple
You're
times.
lucky not to be in prison.
That is correct. That is
Every
correct.
kid goes through a shoplifting stage.
Not like me.
But did you? I mean, every kid doesn't get caught.
Yeah. Well, I was. It was grand larceny. You shoplifted?
Oh my God! All of my friends. My mother did not like my friends. Now I realize why.
They are bad friends.
They would say, "We're going to go to Roosevelt Field and we're going to have a shoplifting spree." And I would be in such a nervous panic. I go, "Well, I want to go along with the group. I want to be a part of this." And they were all terrific at it. I had a friend who could hide whole record albums. There was no CDs. It was record albums underneath his coat.
Oh, my God.
Another friend would go into like a Barnes & Noble type bookstore and steal every book, hardcover, softcover, everything. And it was sort of like a competition. So they bring me along. I'm sweating bullets. I don't want to steal anything. I have this. I'd never stolen anything in my life.
Yeah.
I walk into Macy's. And I saw tie tacks. Now, I don't wear ties. I'm a little kid.
What are you going to do with that?
What do you need a tie?
But I wanted to steal something so I could be in with the crowd.
Look, guys, yeah.
And so I swiped a tie tack. I stuck it in my pocket. I was shitting in my pants. I came out with this tie tack like I had just won the lottery.
Right.
I remember bringing it home and feeling horribly. But the thing that saved me was I brought my cousin with me, and they wanted him to shoplift, and I felt in charge of him.
Right.
And I said, we're going home. I don't want anything bad. I went home, thank God. All my friends got caught, and they brought the police in. They were involved in everything. But these guys couldn't.
They were
really,
trailing them.
I don't know what happened, but somebody got caught in the store, and then that was it, and then it was all over for them. What was your story?
You got caught?
I got caught. Well, the first time I got arrested, I was out. I think it was like a junior Olympic. Like I played volleyball, and we were in San Jose, and it was something. My mom was the chaperone of this tournament, and we were going around, and I was just like stealing whatever, like candles, shot glasses, nothing like that I would ever use.
All junk that you'll never need.
Garbage. And I didn't get caught. The other girls got caught, and they said if anyone else did, fess up. And I'm like, we're a team, right, guys? Okay. I'm like, let's all tell them. I'm like, I did it. Now you guys go. And they're all like,
oh,
yeah, that's all you. Yeah. So I got in trouble. I got benched the whole tournament, knee pads around the ankles. My mom is just the chaperone, just staring at me. I think she still thought she probably didn't do it. Somebody probably planted something on her. But then the time I got arrested, bad. I want to tell you I was like 14, but it was I was like 21. I was like 20 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I was at Bloomingdale's and with my.
Did you have a problem? Do you think you're a kleptomaniac?
Your face was extended.
Yeah. I had been shoplifting for a long time.
So some people actually have like a problem. Like you're not taking
can't go
stuff
into a store without it.
You're not taking stuff you need necessarily. It's just the idea, the thrill of it.
Yeah. No. I mean, isn't it sad? Like I'll read some police blotter when I'm in some city, and it's all like like this 90-year-old woman was stealing milk to feed her grandson. I'm like, I already have that pinstripe pantsuit, but why don't I get another one? I was like really well dressed. It was college. I was like stealing a lot of nice clothes, but I figured out a way I could return the clothes and get cash.
Oh no!
Oh, wow.
Yes, so I was into it, but it wasn't about what I could get very much. It was the adrenaline.
Did you go to a psychiatrist about this?
Totally a rush.
Did you go to a psychiatrist about this?
Not about this specifically. I mean, I've gone to many psychiatrists.
Stopped? Do you?
Oh yeah, no.
You're not going to take our little tchotchkes over there, are you?
No, I mean, they're gorgeous. They're really everything in this room looks amazing.
So
I don't have a problem stealing things.
Right.
It was only from
so who
big
caught
places.
You?
Bloomingdale's.
Bloomingdale's got you.
They're real. Beware, they're really tough.
And they took you down and they arrested you and the whole thing?
Yeah, and
wow.
it was with my cousin who is
Senator Chuck Schumer.
He's not my uncle.
What is he?
I don't know. He's like my dad's cousin.
Oh, so you don't really know him.
We know each other.
Right. Does he
if
root
we saw
for
each
you?
other, I think he hopes that I probably get hit by a train so my name can stop appearing. Yeah, it's never good press for me.
Don't you think the family is proud of you? Don't you think Chuck Schumer even says, "Hey, you know who my cousin is?"
I don't know what
it
she
depends
is, but
on the
we're related.
thing.
Right.
Like I think they thought Last Comic Standing was exciting, and being here, they'll be super excited about. But other things, like they don't really. Like I was trying to explain to my dad what a roast was, and he was like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't do that." I was like, "Maybe not."
What does your dad do for a living?
He mostly just shits himself. He has MS. He lives in a hospital. But it's really somehow not sad because he still thinks he's like gorgeous. Like he's trying to get me to help him set up a Match.com profile.
Wow.
Right. I'm like, what do you want me to write? Like shits himself and has no memory. He's like, that's perfect.
So your parents are divorced?
Yeah.
And he has MS.
Yeah, but he's like happy. It's the weirdest. He's fine.
You don't
totally
feel sad about any of this?
No, I mean, if I really think about it, it's so like I have seen my father drop heat in front of me at LaGuardia. It was the worst. I was going to spend the summer in Montana with my brother, and he was like, it was when you could still walk people to the gate of their plane. And my dad was like, I'm going to walk you to the gate. Like there were we knew it was getting worse. So we like went surfing for the last time together. Like we, all these last things. And that was really sad. Do it, please. I want you to
cry
know.
now. Let's see it.
No,
she's a bullshit artist. She's not crying. Right.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to cry. Can I have another latte?
Yeah.
Let me wipe my tears with this.
That's very heavy to go surfing with your father for the last time.
That was really heavy.
Are you waiting for the big call from Saturday Night Live or something? Like, did you ever fantasize about being on there?
Oh, yeah.
Did you audition?
No, I've been asked to audition. I'm like, trying to get better, and I'm an actor, but I don't really do characters. But I'm not. Like, my goals change so much that I want to keep getting better at stand-up, and I'm getting more acting work the past couple years. It's been really good.
In other words, you still enjoy doing stand-up. A lot of people, like I saw Eddie Murphy on David Letterman, who I think is one of the most brilliant stand-ups. He was like, at 27, I was done with it. That's it. I never wanted to do it again.
I can't imagine that. I mean, that would be fine if that ever happens, but I can't wait to get on stage every night. Yeah. But it sucks traveling. I mean, everything other than the actual stage time is awful. Like, it's really depressing.
Especially for a girl, because like guys at least go on the road and get laid.
They'll get drunk. They'll get laid. After the show, I'm like, I hope no one says anything too mean to me. I'm like selling my CDs. I'm like, everyone has something. They'll be like, they'll think it's a compliment, and I'm like, they'll be like, you're a lot thinner in person, and I'm like, did you think that I wasn't going to hear that? Like, well, on TV, you're a fucking beast.
Do guys hit on you at all at these clubs?
A tiny bit, but they don't do it well. You know, they'll like come up and try and like make a joke. I would love to like meet a guy and be like, let's check out the Best Western.
You're a successful stand-up comedian. Can you make a good living doing it nowadays? Yeah. Or is like income gone down because everyone's sort of hurting?
The economy?
No, I'm in a good position. I'm not rich. I live in a studio and ride my bike everywhere.
What kind of living can a stand-up comic who's really headlining now and doing a good...
Like headlining now on TV a little bit.
Yeah.
You can make 100.
Can you make 200?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So you could have a good year, make 200 grand.
Yeah, totally.
And you travel. How many days a week you got to travel?
I'm usually on the road 4 days a week.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it less. I'm trying to only go out maybe 1 or 2 weeks a month.
Right.
But
the bigger you get, if you do a couple more of these Comedy Central
then
things,
you get to do a theater.
Right, and then suddenly the world is your oyster.
Oh, you have a private jet. There is no road. You get to fly home, sleep in your own bed.
You'll never drive yourself
have sex with your own wife.
So what's the goal? You want to be the world's greatest stand-up?
No.
You just want to make a living being a stand-up. You want to get more acting work.
Yeah, I want to develop. I want to, make...
What's the best acting job you've had?
I just did a movie with Steve Carell.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's called Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm developing a show with Comedy Central, and CBS just bought a pilot.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
I'm making moves, and I'm going to be on this show that's on Adult Swim called Delocated, and it's the funniest show I've ever seen.
So this is it for you. You're on your way.
I'm trying. I want to just, what do you think? Don't you just have to keep making it interesting and fun for yourself?
Yes, you do.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
otherwise you go insane. Let's go to Rick. We're on with Amy Schumer. Her album Cutting is available now on iTunes. Are you referring to the fact that you cut yourself or something?
That my cousin did. Yeah, my sister did.
Your sister was a cutter?
Well, that's what the joke is on the album.
Oh, that's funny. What?
Yeah, well, the way I get off stage is I say, I'll leave you with this. My little sister, used to cut herself. And then I put the mic in the mic stand and I leave.
And that's the joke.
That's the end of my set. After I spend an hour with these people, I leave them with nothing.
Is that a reality or is that a joke?
It's a joke.
It's a joke. I'm not clear, but I won't press you.
No, my sister's a school psychologist doing really well.
I see. Okay, very good. All right. Well, that's what happens. If you do cut yourself, you become a psychologist. Rick, go ahead in Pittsburgh.
Hey, thanks, King. Amy, were you spanked growing up, and do you think you still deserve a spanking for all that shoplifting you did?
Well, thank you for asking that.
All right, that's but it is an interesting question.
I was spanked growing up.
And fully nude?
Yeah, and once in a while a finger would slip in, and I'd be like, wait, is this punishment or not?
Who was spanking you? Your
mom
dad?
Spanked me.
Your
Dad
mom.
Spanked me once because Mom made him, and he cried the whole time.
But they didn't
which was really awkward.
Did they make you pull down your pants and get spanked?
I don't remember being ass out. Luckily, I was at an age where I totally had it coming. If they hadn't spanked me...
Or she remembers.
I loved every second of it.
Because I find you a very intelligent woman, a very bright, sexy woman, but, I could see where a guy gets intimidated because let's say we get in bed and then I want to spank you or something like that. I would think, oh, she's going to think this is funny. She's going to make jokes about it.
I have no jokes in the bedroom.
You are able to turn it off.
I am dirty and I have no jokes in the bedroom.
What does it mean you're dirty?
I like having fun in
Not
bed.
anal.
I've never had anal.
You talk dirty?
Yeah.
Oh,
you do?
I like being talked to. I like talking. But I dated a guy.
Yeah.
The last guy I dated, he needed, the sex got really weird really fast. Which I guess it has to. Because if you don't enter that stuff in early, after 5 years and you're like,
it's hard to put it in.
Wear this rice patty hat, you'll be like, where is this coming from? But, so it got to a place where he wanted to watch me watch porn every time, and he needed me to talk constantly about things I'd done.
Oh.
So at a certain point, I ran out of shit. And I started lying, and then he started...
Because you're not that sexually experienced. I mean, there's only so many experiences.
There's only so much I've done.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm making up stories, and then he started fact-checking. He'd be like, wait, you said... I'm like, fuck you. I haven't had a new story for a year.
Right.
It was exhausting.
Tell me the time that girl came on to you.
Yeah.
And,
I'm like, do you really think any of this happened? It's whenever I start dating a guy, I always pretend maybe I'm like, I don't know, I've thought about a threesome, but... And then 6 months in, I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's weird.
At some point,
you just gotta having sex,
it can
right?
It can get exactly.
Yeah,
it can get
what
weird.
About just fucking each other?
Yeah, doesn't it feel good enough being inside of me?
Penetration.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
Do you need a lot of foreplay?
Not a lot.
Right.
I like
If a guy spanks you, you don't think that's weird though, right? You're okay, but you're down with it.
I'm more than down with it.
Right. Oral sex okay with you both ways?
Totally.
You're all right with it.
Huge fan.
Unless you're not circumcised.
Yeah, in which case, get out of here.
Gunplay.
Gunplay. Only on the high holy days.
Shoot you in the foot, maybe, with my gun?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Bill. Bill says he wants to say hi to Amy Schumer, the new album Cutting, available on iTunes. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Howard. Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Hey, Amy. How you doing?
Hi, Bill.
I really love you.
Thank you.
All right, I don't think we're going anywhere with this. Nick, let's go to Nick in Charleston, West Virginia. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, I just want to get your opinion. Don't you think she's 10 times hotter and funnier than Whitney Cummings?
Well, what about that? Are you because you?
Are
sort
you
of,
hotter
because,
than Whitney?
yeah, first of all, yeah.
No.
Are you hotter than Whitney Cummings?
That's a definitive no.
Are you friends with Whitney Cummings?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Whitney very much.
Me too.
Now, because you're a female comic, it's almost like, Eddie Murphy was talking about this. He was the black comic for a while. He was like, there was no room for two.
Yeah.
It's like you sat in, Whitney wasn't on the comedy roast. Now, are you being compared to Whitney now? Is it like a competition?
No one has said that to me. But I think there's room for all of us, for real.
I would think so.
And I don't know how other people feel, but when I see a funny woman, I'm like, yes, like, trust me, I don't want to be the one. I think women are hilarious. So at Whitney, there's no sense of competition.
Whitney's very funny.
She's motivated. Like,
Are you a
she's
Sarah
great.
Silverman fan?
Yeah, totally.
Are you a Sandra Bernhard fan?
Yes.
You like you root for other comics.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Rosie O'Donnell, you enjoy her?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. No,
Ellen DeGeneres, you like her?
Yeah.
You do. So
She had me on her show. I was the first female comic. She had me on her show.
Do you know her personally?
Just from her,
Just
like
from,
her
just
getting
from
me
the
on the show. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to
Howard, can I throw in one more thing?
Yes.
Whitney, or I'm sorry, Whitney. Amy.
You can call me whatever you want, Bill. Oh, Bill's gone. This is West Virginia.
Nick, go ahead.
I have masturbated to those pictures of you online many times.
What pictures?
Thank you.
What pictures?
I posed naked in Cosmo.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to...
Sexiest thing I've ever seen.
Is that
Thank
true?
you. Yeah.
You were nude?
Yeah,
No hang-ups,
I shot
huh?
at the Comedy Cellar.
You have big breasts now.
Thanks.
Look at, what are you, like a C?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you're a C cup. No inhibition about that.
No, I'm like, I better do it now while everything is still kind of where it's supposed to be.
Did anybody say to you, like an agent or anything, like, listen, Amy, don't do this?
Yeah, and I was like, bye. I'm doing this.
And what'd your mom say about this?
She was at the shoot.
She was there.
She was watching the door. We did it at the Comedy Cellar, and she was making sure no beer deliveries came in while I was...
You showed the vagina?
No.
Just the titties?
Yeah.
What'd you do with the vagina?
I was just in underwear. I mean, they were like, "Will you take off your panties?" And I was like, "Okay." And my mom was like, "No, no."
No, you pay for that.
Oh, yeah. I was like, "Okay."
No kidding.
No, yeah.
I have to see this.
Check it out.
Oh, you are free.
Hey, thanks, Howard.
Why did you bring your mom to a nude shoot?
I don't know. I think. Well,
I wouldn't feel sexy in front of my mom.
I didn't mind it. I guess that is pretty boundaryless and disgusting, but I felt fine. Because it wasn't about it's Cosmo. So I mean, I wanted to feel sexy, but
was
it was
your mom
more,
naked too, just to support
everyone
you?
was naked.
Beautiful,
her boobs were on the floor, running around.
Wow.
No, it was.
There it is.
There's one of them.
Look at you, naked.
Smug over the shoulder shot. Yeah, it was like about the article I wrote to go along with it. They gave me like 6 pages. Like they've been very cool to me. Kate White, the editor-in-chief there, is the coolest woman ever.
You look so cute there.
Thank you. Yeah, they chose like a little cute one. I was like, can we use the ones where I look dirty? And they were like, no.
But no nips. You don't see any nipple.
No. Well, I have some. I don't know if there are any online where you see nipple, but there were some where you saw more.
Yeah, and you have a good body image. In other words, you don't sit there all day like these women and obsess. Oh, I've got to lose 5 pounds. I got to gain 10 pounds. You're not freaked out.
I mean, I'll have days where I'm like, oh my God, what happened? But I feel like sexy. I feel like good. I work out. I take care of myself.
When you date a guy, do you walk around the house nude?
Not over like not a I'm not like the sign like opening pickles. But I'm naked a lot. I'm not hurrying to the bathroom covering myself up. All
right, Abe, go ahead. You're on the air. You're on with Amy Schumer, and then I'll let you out of here. We've kept you locked up for an hour. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Hey, Howard. Hey, now.
Hey, Abe.
Amy, just a question and a comment.
Okay.
Number one, what is it you do for a living? And number two, I'm looking forward to seeing you appear on a carton of milk.
Okay.
What does that mean? That's an insult.
He's insulting her.
He wants me to be.
I saw you on the Charlie Sheen roast. I didn't think you were funny at all.
Okay.
Oh, come on. She was so funny.
Oh, yeah. Her joke about...
what about her talking about her dad? How much darker does this get?
Oh, yeah, the joke that she made about Steve-O's buddy...
that was not a bad joke.
You're upset about that.
Well, let's talk about it.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about it. What made you upset about me saying that joke? Let's talk about it.
I thought it was tasteless.
It hurt your feelings. You thought it was too soon.
No, it didn't hurt my feelings. I just really thought it was tasteless.
Okay, you're completely entitled to feel that way. I didn't say it with any malintent. I didn't think that it was going to hurt anyone's feelings, but I understand you feeling that way. That's okay.
Okay. I mean, I'll tell you that you're cute as hell. I'd love to bang you.
Thank you.
Well,
that
hey,
means the
that's
world.
nice.
That's something.
That means the world.
By the way, I
Thank
should
you.
tell you, this guy is Anthony Jeselnik, the guy you date. Yeah, so go ahead, Pat. Pat, you're on
Hey,
the...
how you doing, Howard?
Hey, now.
Amy, you were on a roast a while ago, and you did a joke about leg braces. It was the funniest thing. And
thanks.
What one was
I
that?
think you're the greatest comedian, and I'm glad you're getting, the recognition you deserve. And Howard, I love you, 20-year listener plus.
Thanks, Pat.
And thanks for getting me through every day.
All right, Pat, thank
you.
What was the joke
I just
that Pat's
said
talking
I said
about?
I wasn't a good-looking kid, but then the old story, I finally got the braces off of my legs, and yeah, that's it. That's it. But that's really nice.
Well, Amy, I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
It was great having you here.
Thank you for having me here. This
the
is a
album
dream.
is called Cutting. I enjoyed your performance on Charlie Sheen Roast,
Thank
and I
you.
wanted to meet you, and I'm glad you came in. I think you're great.
Thank you.
Amy Schumer's album Cutting is available now on iTunes. Don't miss Amy November 5th at the Varsity Theater in Minneapolis. It's going to be a big show.
Well, there's a theater.
Big
All right.
You sell your own merchandise after the show?
Yes, it's the worst.
Is that the most embarrassing part of being a comedian
unbelievable.
nowadays?
It's like the red light district.
In other words, you get off the
You're
show.
up on the stage.
I mean, you're on the stage, you're the big star, and then you what? You walk to the back of the club.
Peddling my wares.
And you
It's so
stand there-
humiliating.
Can you get someone to maybe do that for you, or
Yeah, but then, then
what
it's-
items do you have that you sell?
Oh, I just sell a CD.
Just a CD, no T-shirts?
CD, my hypercolor T-shirts, my
Your clothing
boxers.
line?
Yeah, no, I've got
so
nothing else.
you have a booth. You set up a little booth,
They'll have like some table, and they'll just have my CDs there waiting for me.
and you'll sit there.
And I sign it. Yeah.
And do you bring change and things with you so you can?
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
Like when I did the last Comic Standing tour, I sold a CD that I would just burn on my computer, and I would sell it for $5. And sometimes I wouldn't have any more CDs, so I would sell like the cookies that they left in the green room. But
That's
no,
funny.
I'm not good at marketing myself.
Is it worth how much extra money can you make a night? Is it worth the humiliation of sitting there and having to sell your own CD?
I can make an extra $700 a weekend,
Oh, wow.
and that's a lot. That's a lot of money for me.
That's big money.
But it really doesn't feel worth it. It
Yeah.
is a horrifying, embarrassing thing.
Do you bring your own credit card machine? I mean, how does it work financially? Like, how do you
No.
like? Let's say someone
I'm
buys.
standing there.
If someone buys, I don't know how much a CD is. How much is $20?
Yeah.
And they say, "Look, I have 100. Can you break it?"
I'll say no. Can you go to the bar? Sometimes
see.
people be like, I have to go to an ATM, and then they leave their date there with me, and they're like, "So, where do you go next?" And I'm like, "I want to kill myself."
Now you've got to
I wanna-
entertain this person.
It's because you've just expended so much energy. You know, you put so much of yourself into it. The last thing you want to do when you leave is that, so right after the show, I have to be
Also,
like
I
tap
would,
dancing.
I would think, to build up your star quality, to see after you've killed on stage and you've done your thing, to be sitting there hawking your wares, so to speak.
It's not good.
Wouldn't it be good if the club could just provide someone for all the comics that would sell? I guess you can.
But then people feel like it's mean, and they want a picture, and they want to meet you. So it's like,
Right.
okay,
All
I'm like,
right.
let me do that. These people came out, they spent their weekend night with me. But I don't know. Sometimes it wouldn't be as hard if people didn't have
Believe
all
me,
the backhanded compliments.
After my show, I stand in the serious lobby. I'm selling CDs, too. Amy Schumer's album, Cutting, is available now on iTunes. And, by the way, for all things Amy, go to amyschumer.com. Thanks for coming in,
Thank you
Amy.
so much.
That was fun.
Thank you so much.
I had a good time. I
Oh,
hope you
man,
did.
so did I. Thank you
Great
so
meeting
much.
you.
Amazing meeting you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot.
You're so funny.
Ooh, thank you.
I get the, I used to get the, hey man, your teeth aren't that big. And I'd be like, thanks.
Yeah, you're like, oh wow, that's so nice.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Amy, I knew the whole time you were
You
doing
knew I was
that
gonna
great
say that?
adventure story. I was only there twice. I was like, this is gonna be it.
But we were so excited. But I was just like, we were like, hey, what? Oh, we were excited, and we have the picture because we sat right behind you. So there's a picture of us with you in the screen
that's
machine.
hysterical.
Yeah, it was really
my
ridiculous.
Goodness. Well, you were great.
Thank
I love
you.
the roast
Thank
stuff.
you.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
You too. Thank you so
Okay.
much for having me.
Amy, well done
Hi.
today.
Yeah, was it good?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Usually, you can sort of gauge it, I think, by how long you're in the studio for.
Oh, do some people go in and out?
Yeah.
But that was good though.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, good.
A nice slow roast, an hour.
An hour.
So really cooked in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm glad that there was one caller that was mad because it was like, okay, good, so it's not all just fun and games. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you got the full Stern Show experience.
Yeah.
Now, why is coming here like the mecca for comedians? Because Howard's not a stand-up guy.
I think just because he's so honest, he doesn't blow any smoke. So, if he likes you, he really likes you. He doesn't need to pretend.
Right, so he's not shticky like some terrible comedian.
Yeah, he doesn't need anything from anybody. So it really comes just from a place of him enjoying what you do. So it's like the biggest compliment.
Cool. And I look forward to your next appearance, and hopefully we can talk more about Uncircumcised Frenchmen.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Yeah, I wanted to know more.
Let's get back to the rape.
Casey's on the phone. You remember Casey? You used to work here.
Oh, Casey Armstrong?
Yeah, Casey Armstrong. You're doing very well.
Always love to hear from Casey.
Yes, Casey.
Howard.
Hey, man.
Hey, brother. How you doing, man?
What's happening?
Hey, listen to me. I got this thing on demand. They put it on, like, the Cablevision.
Yeah.
And, you guys had an episode where all you guys took your shirts off, and I have made critiques on each one.
Did we do that? When did we do that?
When was that?
It must have been older.
No, it wasn't. It was after I left. It was. It must have been like a year ago or something like that. I don't know.
I don't remember that.
Didn't you leave
Robin,
like
how are
10
you?
years ago?
Very sexy.
After he left. Yeah, okay, go ahead real quick, because I got to get the news.
Okay, ready? All right, here you go. I'll do it quick. Howard, first of all, I'll start with positive, all right? You have a good back.
Right.
Your back is nice.
Thank you.
But you got cow nipples. You have huge nipples.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I have a nice chest.
Yeah, no, but your nipples are huge. They're like cow udders.
No, you got the wrong guy, man.
Well, dude, your nipples are big, and Sal has big nipples, too.
Really? Gee, I never thought of myself as big. I always think of myself as a small nipple. Are you sure you were looking at me?
I'm positive, brother.
Maybe my nipples don't photograph well.
They photograph big.
Yeah, because I kind of have small ones.
No, you have big nipples.
By the way, is Casey gay or what?
Yeah, what are you doing? Evaluating their bodies.
No guy ever looked at my nipples before.
And came away with that.
I might be a gay. I don't know. But, but I can tell you something. Fred is looking amazing.
Right.
No, he's jacked up. He's got he's got a great chest. He's got good arms.
Right.
Right? I mean, have you...
Wow.
He's like intimidating this guy.
This is so weird, this call, isn't it? This is a weird call, Casey, but go ahead.
No, it's a good call. He complimented me.
Well, yeah, okay, but still, it's weird.
But all right, I'm going through it. Richard, he actually has a good... He looks like a lumberjack, you know what I mean? But he has a huge gut.
No, he's super ripped now.
He got thin.
He's thin and ripped.
No, he doesn't look that bad. Well, I guess it might have been a while ago.
Yeah, it was.
Sal has a lot of fat deposits on the side of his chest.
Right.
And he has good vascularity in his shoulders.
Do you care, Robin?
This is ridiculous.
What the hell?
I gotta tell you, I'm as baffled as you.
Yeah, I'm freaked out, dude. Anybody else you want to talk about? Hey, man, how about the last time I saw you? You look bloated. So what's up with that?
Steroids.
Was it juice?
Yeah, man.
You still doing that?
You're still doing juice?
I'm 185 right now.
185 means you're big or small?
Dude, when you saw me, I was probably 230.
Oh, wow.
It's either that or AIDS. I'm not sure.
Anybody else? Any other guys you want to talk about, like Benji or anything?
Yeah,
Who
Benji,
else took their shirt off?
Cockstrong.
What?
He looks cockstrong.
Benji?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
But he's like Cabby. Remember, Cabby was like he was big and he looked kind of intimidating, but it wasn't like he couldn't do nothing with it. Benji, he could do well, but he has small nipples.
Wow.
I've thought
Yeah, I'm out of my mind, Howard.
I think so.
What happened to you?
Case, would I be
I don't
better
know,
with bigger
brother.
nipples?
I'm talking about Jason. I like the guy. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's great, but I'm worried about the guy.
Right.
I mean, I'm really. I mean,
How are his nipples?
cholesterol. I got high cholesterol. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Are you okay?
No.
What's wrong?
Just had a little panic attack. All good.
You having a panic attack?
Yes.
What just happened?
I don't know. Hey, do you like Lamb of God?
What?
What?
Nice.
What?
I don't know. Hey.
What's going on, man?
Yikes.
You all right, man?
No.
What's going on?
What can we do?
Talk to me. Casey.
I'm on the Librium.
What are you on?
Librium.
Librium.
What is that?
It's a drug.
What does it do?
It's for the DTs.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, are you an alcoholic?
Oh, yeah, you know that.
I didn't realize it was that bad. So when you get withdrawals, you...
Where are you calling us from?
I'm from I'm watching my friend's dog.
You homeless?
No.
Oh.
And who put you on Librium?
The emergency room.
Wow.
God, this guy had the world by the balls.
How did you wind up in the You wound up in the emergency room so drunk?
Have you? No. It was days after. Have you ever seen Leaving Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I normally don't like Nicolas Cage, but he's amazing.
Is that your life?
Yes.
Are you getting any help? Are you talking to anyone?
I'm talking to you.
No, but I mean, are you talking to any psychiatrists or anything?
Yeah. I've been to about 20 of them.
Yeah. What do they say your problem is? Your dad?
There's a whole bunch of terms that they give.
You got problems. You got a diagnosis?
What they say, what is it, borderline?
Borderline schizo? Or just borderline personality?
They say borderline.
Borderline personality.
And then bipolars.
Yeah.
And hey, Benji is cockstrong.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Hey.
Jeez, Casey.
Casey, you ought to go on that drug Penisin.
That's like what is that?
Penisin?
Penisin?
Yeah.
Nice, I like it. Hey.
So they went to the hospital. You get hallucinating when you try to withdraw from alcohol. Did you stop drinking?
No.
So
you're drinking with the Librium.
I'm on the stuff and then I keep drinking.
Yeah. Wow. Dude.
What are you... I mean, thanks for calling.
Dude. Yeah, I got to go.
Dude.
Anything you want to promote real quick?
No, not at all. I'm actually going to L.A. in 2 days.
What?
I'm going back to L.A. in 2 days.
Where are you now?
I'm in New York.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm back in New York.
Don't come in here.
You're not going to invite him down?
No.
Dude.
Hey, is Benji cockstrong? Case, is Benji cockstrong?
I think Benji is cockstrong. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah.
And you have big nipples.
I do miss Casey. He was fun when he worked here.
He was amazing and
but he just went crazy.
very, very concerned.
Yeah. Sorry to hear all these problems, dude. You had the world by the balls. You know.
So
this is one of the best looking guys ever.
Did the doctors put you on the Librium here?
What? I'm very happy.
Did you fuck any more trannies?
You know, that hurts, Howard. And not
That's
really
the
gonna
only
respond to
thing?
that.
You're not?
Oh, jeez.
What is this coughing thing?
I don't know.
Do you still go to the gym even though you drink like a fish?
Yeah, I'm dude, I'm ripped.
Really?
Have you got
185.
Are you talking to your mother? Have you seen her?
Love her.
Good, okay.
Right.
And what does she say about all this?
Well, she does the best that she can, but I make my own decisions.
Sure. You're making some great decisions.
Hey, did I mention that Benji is cockstrong?
All right. Hey, listen, Case.
It's good to hear from you.
Good hearing from you, my man. Wait a second. David Arquette wants to talk to you, okay?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make sure I don't lose you. Go ahead, David.
Hey.
Hey, now.
What's up? How are you, Casey?
Hi, David. How are you, sir?
I'm good, buddy.
By the way, everyone has to vote for David Arquette.
We voted for you last week.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Yeah, and is Courtney going to stay home this week?
No.
Yeah, Susan's hot, bro.
Hey, man, but I was just hearing you, and, sounds like you're going through a hard time.
I'm looking for a little bit of God's mercy.
Yeah, well, you're on the right track. I mean, you could do stuff to, get your stuff together. You just start facing some of the shit you're going through, really look at yourself. And there's ways of doing that, and there's places you could go to get some help.
Have you gone anywhere to get help, Casey?
Too many, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to go again.
Do you understand that they put me on this shit like 20 years ago, right? It was it was new, and now they don't know how to get people off it.
Casey, what do you do? You primarily drink, or are you into coke and all that shit?
No, I have narcolepsy. You know what that is?
Yeah.
So they gave me Ritalin 20 years ago.
All right.
And that's speed. Speed induces psychosis.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, it might be what's happening now, but see, what happens is every time I go to rehab, they say, you have to go cold turkey, and I won't do it because it's a horror, and it's terrible. When I go to jail, that's what they do. It's the worst ever. I can't explain it.
How many times have you been in jail?
4 times.
4? And they make you go cold turkey, and what, you can't handle it?
Oh, dude, you have no idea. I can't explain to you how horrible it is.
So, but why do you go back on it once you go cold turkey and get through the horror of it?
But you can't because, look, I've been on it for 20 years, and the amount that I take, I should be dead.
How much Ritalin do you take a day?
It was 300 milligrams, now it's 200, and the overdose is 80, I believe.
Wow. Hey, David.
Yeah.
He's hardcore, huh?
Yeah, but, a lot of that stuff is that people, medicate so much to, I mean, some of that is necessary when you have certain conditions. But
David, what were you doing? David,
go on get involved with his thing. As crazy as some people might think, he does have results with people that really want it. And
what, Dr. Drew?
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is also not facing, not coming to terms with who you are and just getting real with yourself and answering some of the hard questions, forgiving yourself for some of the shit that you've done, sort of starting over, dealing with the past, cleaning up the past, and then going ahead. And
were you as bad as him, David?
I had different problems. I mean, everyone's got their own issues. But
you were primarily drinking, right?
Come on.
You were primarily drinking, right?
Primarily drinking, but when I was younger, I had drug problems, and when I had this last thing, I did ecstasy a couple times and mushrooms and shit like that.
Are you in any condition to really be giving KC advice? I mean, you're sober and everything?
Oh yeah, I'm almost 10 months sober.
Okay, what do you think of that, Casey?
For me, it's like a real
No, I was sober.
What?
I was sober, and I hated it. It was worse than this.
What are you talking about?
He wants to be a drunk.
He never was sober. When were you sober?
I went to rehab. Don't you remember? I went there. I was sober for 4 months.
And you hated it?
I hated it. It was the worst possible thing ever.
Oh my!
Did you do anything to try to face? See, part of it's you get all these feelings back, and it becomes really difficult, and then you have to get some sort of tools to be able to deal with those feelings.
You hear what he's saying, hey, Casey? How much are you drinking a day?
Dude, you know what I want to do? I'm like a bottom. At one point,
you're a bottom. I knew it.
Always suspected.
Howard, with the gay stuff. For 1 minute, we're talking serious now.
Okay.
Yes. All right. We are joking.
Just tell me, how much are you drinking a day?
About 20 to 30 shots.
A day?
Yep.
20 to 30 shots a day. David, did you drink that much?
Not really, no.
Wow. Casey's hardcore, huh?
Yeah.
And you'll never see me drunk, ever.
Congratulations. I mean, 20, 30 shots a day, and they never see you drunk.
You'll never see you drunk. We see you drunk.
You're one of the greatest alcoholics of all time.
Rukowski said everything shits and then it dies. So what do you think of that?
I think you're fucked. I think you got to get into some rehab, dude. That's what David's giving you good advice.
And when you don't just get sober, as David says, you have to start working on all the things that make you want to get drunk.
Yeah, that's the thing. You do a lot of this stuff to numb yourself. I mean, there's certain stuff within your chemical balance that, they probably could figure out a better, system for you. I don't take anything personally, and when I went into rehab, I refused any kind of the stuff that they give you there to kind of wean you off and all that stuff. But
bro, they won't though. That's my problem because
you probably would need some kind of program to put little medications together to just keep you stable. And
you know what's crazy? KC has such discipline with his eating and with his gym and with all that.
But it doesn't matter.
And then you would even think, with all that vanity and working out and stuff, he would lay off the sauce.
No, I'll go to the gym hammered.
Wow.
It doesn't matter. But here's the problem, David. You probably know what I'm talking about. What they're going to do every time I go to the rehab, I've been there a bunch of times, and I usually end up telling them to go fuck themselves because what they say is you have to go cold turkey. They don't wean you off. They have nothing to give you. So there's no way out.
Oh, dude, you could do it. You're a strong young guy. You could get off it.
Howard, I can't explain to you.
All right, so it's uncomfortable. You just do it.
It's not uncomfortable. It's dementia. What happens is you think that you're gonna die and that nobody can.
But how long does that last? A couple of days?
No, it lasts until you start taking the shit again.
Oh.
It depends on the rehab you're going to. That's why I think Dr. Drew's got a solid group of doctors and things going on. They know how to address that if you have any mental issues that you need sort of mood stabilizing stuff. But some of the other stuff that you're probably overdoing is probably making you.
Did I just hear a clown horn?
I was going to say, that's perfect, David, while you're giving advice.
Well, David, that's David's technique. He entertains you.
I've seen him, and it looks like he knows what he's talking about. But
he knows.
That even if I went to him, they would say, look, you stop this cold turkey. This is what it says in the book, because they have no idea what the fuck to do with it because it's so new. They have no idea what this shit does to you.
Yeah. All right, look, we're not going to get this solved now. Casey, get yourself to fucking rehab. Go to Dr. Drew or somebody.
Yeah, don't go back to L.A.
Yeah.
Go to rehab.
Just start getting honest with yourself. And then, try to, get just move in a better place.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? The only thing that this has given me is making me become an amazing actor.
Nice.
All right. Listen, Casey, I got to go. Hey, David, I got to go. I got to go do the news.
Guys.
All right, later.
We will be watching you tonight on Dancing with the Stars.
Thank you. All the best, Casey.
Am I going to see you tomorrow or something?
I'm coming in next week. So
next week, okay.
I'm coming into town. So.
All right, good. I'll see you next week, David. Casey, take care of yourself, will you, pal? Really, get off that shit. You got the discipline to do it. It's enough already.
I'm going to L.A. and
it's unattractive.
I'm going to pose nude, and my mom is coming, and she's going to put her hand over my private parts,
all right. Listen, go get some help. I mean it. Stop the nonsense. You can get off that shit. You're going to get big tits like me if you don't calm down.
No, just nipples. Your chest is good. It's the nipples.
All right, Case. Thank you.
Did I mention Veggie's Cockstrong?
And thanks to David Arquette for calling in and trying to help KC. Goodbye.
Guys, bye.
Right. Very depressing.
God damn it.
What, Casey?
That
was bad?
What?
Hello? Oh, he's gone.
Now he's going to beat himself up for a bad appearance.
It was a great appearance, but I'm worried about the guy. I like him. Yeah, Ralphie, go ahead.
Hey, now. That really was the most bizarre call from Casey. You're talking about a bit you did 2 years ago. I mean,
I know.
Current. But, you know, I just think it's funny when you guys always talk about Casey, you, Robin, and everybody. It's like, oh, my God, what a shame, what a shame. And it's just because he's good-looking. I mean, if he wasn't good-looking, nobody would really care. And
yeah, you know, in a way, you're right.
You're absolutely right. If he was a mess, we'd expect this to happen.
Expect that. It's like, wow, he's good-looking.
The weird thing with KC is the guy works out so intensely, and not only that, he looks like a supermodel. And it's like, wow, how could a guy that disciplined and that into his look be into that drinking and everything?
You're thinking of Casey, you know, when he used to work there. I don't think he, you know,
he's been that guy.
Yeah, I think he's got some miles on him now.
Oh yeah, he's not looking that good.
Well, you said, like, when you saw him last time, he's bloated. He was
a little scary. Yeah.
Yeah, he's frightening.
I hope he pulls it together. Good looking or not. I mean, I did like the guy. You know, the guy worked with me so many years. He's a good dude.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It doesn't seem he's been trying to pull it together for a while. I don't think that's going to happen.
And Ralph, can you defend my nipples? I don't think they're overly big.
No, that was kind of strange. No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I just had to start laughing in the middle because I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I know. It was weird.
Hey, I want to talk about your body.
We weren't looking for any feedback. All right, thank you.
Benji is cockstrong.
What's that, Casey?
Benji is cockstrong.
Right.
Way to get that drop right away.
Right.
You have big nipples.
What do you think of Ralph, Casey?
He didn't say anything about Ralph.
Well, you could have just said he has big nipples.
Yeah,
come on.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Actually, people have said that about me, so.
All right. Thank you, Ralph.
Goodbye.
Ralph actually does have big nipples.
He does?
You have big nipples.
You're right, Casey.
Robin, like Howard, you saw Casey go from, I guess, sort of like an intern
to an employee, yeah.
Right, and a full-time one at that.
Yeah.
How much does it bum you out when he checks in?
It makes me very sad because one of the reasons Casey is not with us is because his behavior had become so erratic. He couldn't work here anymore. And, you know, we hoped that the fact that he couldn't be on the show would be a wake-up call and he'd pull himself together, and obviously that hasn't happened.
Seems safe to say that Casey spiraled out of control, not only since leaving the Stern Show, but it seems like the last couple of years. How do you decipher what's real and what's shtick and what's looking for a plug and all that?
I don't know. I mean, he wasn't really plugging anything today, and I thought he sounded pretty legitimate. You know, Casey's got a little sense of theater too, so sometimes he fucks with us. He could be a little messed up, but he likes to fuck with us too because he gets he understands the concept of the entertainment. But today he wasn't really plugging anything, and I was a little worried about him today, I have to say.
Equally as important, does Howard have oversized nipples?
I never looked at Howard's nipples, and I'm never going to look at him again. I'll go home and look at my private parts poster, see what I can ascertain. Richard comes to me and tells me, oh, did you get snow on Saturday? I'm like, yeah. So him and Kristen went up way upstate New York to go get their makeup done for a party they were doing in the city. Like, they literally traveled far. They get up there, they get dropped over the train. It's snowing like crazy, right? No trains are coming. So they're calling this, they're calling that. So he's the idiot that calls 911.
Oh,
I said, why didn't you call the local I go, what town are we in? He goes, Mayapack. I go, why didn't you call the Mayapack police? He goes, I don't know. We don't.
They called 911. You're lucky they didn't get arrested.
No.
Why did they call 911? I don't
because
understand.
They were at the train station. It was snowing really hard, and no trains were coming. They called every cab company. They called the MTA. Unbeknownst to them, MTA had been shut down. They didn't know that.
1 minute.
So they were stuck, and they couldn't get home. So I said to him, why didn't you call the local police? And he goes, I didn't think of that. So I don't know what happened when he called 911, but the other funny thing is, this is so they could do this. That's the funniest part. That's so they traveled like an hour upstate to do that, to come back into the city to go to a party or something. He said they stayed in Sleepy Hollow.
Well, your point is, these are the idiots who stay on the beach in a hurricane. Like, you see it snowing.
Well, no, he got up there, and then it started to snow. I'm not saying that. I'm saying...
But he knew the bad weather was coming.
No, but what I am saying is, 911 is for emergencies, not because the train
Not because you went trick-or-treating.
Not because the train didn't come.
Trying to get your werewolf, man. Excuse me, 911. I can't get a lift to the Halloween party. I need my makeup.
Robin, anything else in the news?
Halloween is tonight, and it's a fun holiday for kids, but parents need to remember a few tips to keep their kids safe. Janet Brooks with Safe Kids Utah urges safety on the streets, asking drivers to be especially mindful of trick-or-treaters crossing the road.
I can't believe anybody lets their kids trick-or-treat anymore. It's so fucking dangerous.
Yeah, do those masks still work so poorly that you really can't see anything when
You can't
you're
see a
out
thing.
there in
You
your
have no peripheral
costume?
vision. It's awful.
Really, you are sort of like a sitting duck on the road.
Yeah.
Other tips for parents to follow are to make sure costumes are flame resistant, fit properly to prevent tripping, and to use reflective tape on both the outfits and treat bags so kids can be seen. Parents should also check over all treats for any signs of tampering before letting their kids eat them.
A flame-resistant costume. Most people don't go to the store and buy, They just like dress up in like some clothes, and then you go to some asshole's house, you got a bunch of pumpkins with candles in them, and your kid's on fire. Stay home. There's a million things that are going to go wrong. It's inevitable.
I think a lot of people have gone to parties because you can't trust
Right.
to have your kids out there on the road.
I like flame-resistant costume. Make sure your child's in a flame-resistant. I'll put him in an asbestos outfit. Hey, what are you doing already with this Halloween? It's enough.
I know. When you've got to take all those precautions, isn't it a sign that maybe we shouldn't be doing this?
And Richard's so fucking retarded that, like, I went into his office to take some photographs of him the other day. And he's like, got like pumpkin candles burning and pumpkin shit hanging up in the office.
Right, he's the very one who's going to light a kid on fire.
Yeah. Less pumpkins and more work back there.
By the way, he said he was going to get a pumpkin scrub this weekend. You know, he even does the whole spa thing.
That's nothing. He
with pumpkins.
So Richard, I guess, goes to a party every year, so he gets professional makeup done. But, of course, he lives in New York, and there's no one who can do his professional makeup. He has to go to, like, fucking Poughkeepsie or something. I don't know, or somewhere upstate New York.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then so it was snowing. You know, they were calling for snow on Saturday.
Right.
So him and his wife get on the train, and they go all the way upstate to get that stupid makeup that they get.
Uh-huh.
And then he gets caught. None of the trains are running because it's snowing so bad.
So he's stuck.
He's stuck. He called 911.
Stop it.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. He called 911 for a ride or something, or he didn't know what to do.
Oh, my goodness. He's as bad as that guy I just played.
Yeah, but he's like those retards who go, like people who stay in Miami Beach on the ocean, and they say you have to evacuate, and then they stay, and then you have to go rescue them. He knows it's going to snow.
There's no reason to rescue him from Poughkeepsie. Find a hotel room.
Of course. Richard, where did you go to get your makeup? Like, this is, by the way, he's 40-something years old. This was what all the fuss was about, so he could look like this.
That isn't even that good.
I mean, the makeup's not even that great. I mean, it's fine.
It's okay, but who cares? You could get that done. You could do it yourself.
Hey, that's the most important. It's the most important day of the year for me.
Where did you go to get the makeup?
Mayo Pack. It's like in Westchester.
And you what? The snow came down so heavily you couldn't get a train.
Yeah,
you called 911.
Well, we got dropped off at the train station in full makeup. We looked crazy.
Yeah,
and. We waited for about 2 hours for the Metro North, and then there was a big announcement, all train service suspended. And we thought it was going to be like the Donner Party, like we were going to have to start eating each other, because we didn't know how to get out of there.
Dude, you're in Mayo Pack. It's not you know, like
there are
some
cabs.
remote...
There are all kinds of things.
We called every cab.
It was snowing too heavy.
Yeah, it was snow. They wouldn't even go, leave to give us a ride to a hotel.
So what did 911 do?
They were going to send an MTA truck to pick us up.
And what happened?
Well, we finally got a hold of the makeup guy, and luckily his brother, thank God, had a four-wheel drive truck and was able to give us a ride to White Plains to catch the only train.
Believe this guy? For this stupid makeup.
How much do you pay for that?
And who are you supposed to be with that makeup? Who
the
is
Wolfman.
That? Oh, that's Wolfman?
Yeah.
Is that who you are?
And who's your wife, Little Red Riding Hood?
Yeah, she's like the victim, Little Red Riding Hood, after she was attacked.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Glad you told me.
It took us 6 hours to get from there back to our home. We were exhausted.
How long does the makeup take?
A couple hours to do.
And what do you do with the makeup?
Now you're all dressed up. Where do you go?
Yeah.
Well, we went to a costume party, but we were so exhausted from our ordeal that we only stayed for a little bit.
That's what I figured.
After all that, we were just too burned out.
Halloween got ruined.
There's nobody in New York who does makeup.
It's hard. It's hard to find people.
No, in Manhattan, no one does that.
Not this good. This is my buddy. He does this for movies.
Dude, Manhattan has got the greatest makeup artist in the world. I got to believe someone in Manhattan can do that.
Well, this guy today, he's doing Good Morning America's makeup.
Oh, yeah?
He's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet you they didn't go to see him in Mayapack.
What do you pay him for that?
I gave him like $140.
That's it?
That's the cash I had on me, but I'm going to send him some more. Yeah. I got to send him the werewolf hands back, too. He loaned those to me.
Real good.
Yeah. He's awesome, though. He did a vampire movie called Stakeland that you guys should see. It's
I'll run
awesome.
right out. Okay.
Richard.
Yes?
Come on, man. You don't think you overreacted a little bit?
Well, we were worried. It was just us and 3 Mexican migrant workers at the station, and they didn't even speak English, so we didn't know what to do. We couldn't go anywhere.
Did you give them a ride to White Plains as well?
No.
Real
we
nice
didn't, because my friend came in a truck, and it's like it'd be too dangerous for them to ride in the back of the truck, so I think
You don't think a couple of migrant workers...
They were on the
been in
phone
back of
with
the truck
friends of
before?
theirs speaking Spanish, so I'm assuming they got a ride.
But really, you know that 911 is for actual emergencies. This doesn't constitute an emergency.
Well, you know, we tried to call Metro North, and the line, nobody would answer. And somebody told us before they left the station, they said call 911, or the cab company said call 911, and they'll send MTA out to get you guys. So we would have called MTA directly, but they wouldn't answer. So
All in the name of Halloween. So now that it's all over with, you know, Halloween is today. Do you feel like you just missed out on a golden opportunity? You had this great makeup, you had a costume party to go to, but you were too burnt out by the time you...
Well, we still got to go at least. We could have been, you know, had our own little two-person costume party at the train station that night and froze to death. So I'm glad we at least made the costume party.
But as far as your Halloween dreams go, I feel that they were sort of shattered.
Yeah, you know, Mother Nature can be a real bitch sometimes, and I'm very angry that she fucked up Halloween a little bit. And
fuck that. You almost got to worry about this.
Mother Nature, that bitch.
She is. She's a fickle bitch.
She could have had it snow on November 1st, and it would have been totally fine, but to do it before Halloween is unforgivable.
Kind of like waking up on Christmas morning and realizing you didn't get the toy you wanted.
Yeah, or like, you know, like this fucking Mother Nature, she always pisses me off. Last year, she fucked me over too, because she made a blizzard the day after Christmas. Not on Christmas. We couldn't have a white Christmas. She had it the day after. That's like saying to me, fuck you and your white Christmas. I'm going to make it white on December 26th.
What a biznatch.
She is a total... I love global warming. Fuck her. Fuck Mother Nature.
Great cans.
I'm going to go use a bunch of hairspray right now just to piss her off.
Hell of a body, though.
Yeah. I'm going to throw all my plastic in the garbage, not recycle. Fuck Al Gore. Fuck Mother Nature. Halloween rules.
How about throwing some of them soda rings into the ocean, too?
Exactly.
Catch a couple fish.
Get some dolphins' noses bound up by those fucking goddamn soda
I'm
rings.
going to start eating tuna that isn't dolphin friendly.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to burn some rubber tires out in my yard, you know. Fuck Mother Nature, that bitch.
I'll learn that, broad.
I'll teach you, bitch.
I'll learn her well. I mean, good.
Teach you not to make it snow on my favorite fucking holiday, you fucking biatch.
You said it, sir. I think we all learned something from your ordeal today.
I think we learned that I'm an idiot.
And I am as well. Happy Halloween, sir.
Happy Halloween.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling was on Superfan Roundtable. Wow. I heard his interview. Mutt did a great interview with Jackie, and Jackie was just, again, talking about his contract negotiation and why he isn't with the show. And
This is hysterical.
I mean, look, they were asking him about it.
Yeah, but I mean...
But it's all it's so misguided.
Why would you even continue to talk about it?
See, if I play it, you're going to get all worked up, as I did when I heard it, but because you're going to start arguing with a piece of tape.
Well, work me up.
All right.
I love Jackie logic.
All right, but okay. I'll stop it when I need to correct something.
All right.
Or at least give my interpretation. You want to get worked up?
I know it's going to happen. I always think that I'm over it, but he'll get to me, I'm sure.
But you know what the funny thing is? We are over it. I don't spend any time in the day going,
Ever
"Gee, I wish
thinking about it,
Jackie was back here," but you know what? It actually made me sad when I heard this, because he's his own worst enemy, because he still to this day doesn't understand what he did.
Thank God.
To his own career.
And thank God we don't take him back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because this would go on again.
It would. Robin, it's been 10 or 15 years. He hasn't learned a thing. It's so clear to me.
That's the beauty of Jackie.
He hasn't. I don't know if he's in therapy. I don't know what he does, but he has not figured it out. And that's my point. People don't change.
Well, some people do, but not Jackie.
Okay, fair enough. Here we go.
Well, Howard would say that you just didn't show up one day and left him hanging, and then you didn't have you.
By the way, just so Mutt knows, I would never say that.
There for months.
But every time that I was out negotiating.
Out negotiating.
You know, I said to Gary when I heard this, I called him up. I said, how is it that me, Robin, Fred, you, how is it we managed?
We all had to negotiate.
We all had to negotiate, whether it was with Mel directly or, through Don or
Tom, or whatever.
But how is it we all ended up never missing a day of work, even with our negotiations, quote unquote? Jackie always had to leave.
Yeah.
Sometimes for weeks. And to me, it always felt like, hey, I can walk away, you guys carry on, and when I'm done negotiating, just how did we all manage to get a contract without walking out the door?
But by the same token, it wasn't that he left us hanging.
Yeah.
It was that we didn't know he wasn't showing up.
Mutt said we'd get all worked up again when we heard this. He knows. He listens.
They did the same thing. And I've said this on the air
did?
many millions of times,
Well,
but
listen.
nobody wants to hear it. I didn't do that. I would never have done that. For all anybody can break my balls, I'm a professional guy. We were trying to negotiate. Then my lawyer didn't hear back from Tom for 2 months. So we had a meeting with Tom, and we went in, and my lawyer said, listen.
First of all, they didn't hear back from Tom for 2 months because I was very aware of what was going on. He said, Jackie and your lawyer, this is the final offer. And it was a very, very healthy offer. More than I think most guys in radio would drop dead if they saw this offer. And they said, Jackie, this is it. Either you take it or leave it. We can't keep going on, or we have to move forward and find somebody new.
Now, I don't understand. Is he still working or is he not working?
He's not working.
Okay.
He's negotiating. So they told him that, and Jackie and his lawyer kind of laughed it off like, ha, 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 sure.
Okay, and did
2
they
months
make
later,
some counteroffer?
No. 2 months later, 2 months later, it was over. In other words, Jackie was like, okay, I'll come back. And it was like, no, you don't understand. We meant it.
He took 2 months to think about it.
Yeah, 2 months.
Over. We're totally at loggerheads. You guys aren't coming back at us. We're not going back. So this was on a Wednesday. So Jackie's not going to come in on Monday. And Tom said, I think you're making a mistake. And Larry said, I think you're making a mistake.
Yep, who was
He said,
right?
All right, but he's not going to be there Monday. And I said, Tom.
Where's Larry now?
Now, you make sure you tell Howard, make sure everybody knows.
But Howard says you didn't call him.
No, by the way, if I did say that, I don't care about
No.
Jackie calling me.
This is all getting confused.
Yeah.
Jackie did this every year for a number of years and never told us he was not coming in.
Right.
This last time, maybe he had a lawyer who called.
Right.
That's what he's upset about. That
By the way, I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about any of this. Jackie leaving has been absolutely fine. I'm much happier now. I couldn't take the constant problems and the constant out back in the back office getting everyone charged up.
And
It's
all
fine.
of a sudden, he's professional.
Right. Oh, he's the most professional.
You missed that one phone call.
What?
You told Tom, but you didn't tell Howard.
This is they got you coming and they got you going. Howard he said over and over and over, I want nothing to do with negotiations.
That's
I don't
true.
want to know money. I don't want to know negotiations. It's all up to everybody to do their own deal. Leave me out of it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I should call him and say, hey, not for like.
Meanwhile, every deal he did, he called me, and I had to step in and carry on. And he always tried to get me to agent for him. He's full of shit.
Would it be
as much as I wanted not to be involved with Jackie?
He always involved you.
He sucked me in every time.
Not a threatening phone call or a heads up. Tom said, Tom,
Jackie won't admit one thing. He left the show thinking Howard's going to fucking crumble without me. I
Right,
said to
and
him,
he was waiting for 2 months for you to call
And
and
beg
ask
him.
him to come back.
Right. And it was never going to happen. Jackie was an asset to the show. I had assessed the
Well,
situation.
he was an acid to the show?
An asset.
Asshole to the show?
No, he was an asset to the show, but at some point it became detrimental to the show. And that's it. He over-evaluated. He overvalued himself. That's all. He was valuable, but not irreplaceable. That's the problem with Jackie.
Howard will absolutely know you're not going to be there. And then, they said that all of a sudden Howard says, "Where's Jackie today?" And Robin said, "Oh, he left you high and dry again." Yeah, you know how he is. He just
Well, when Fred-
they made it sound like I just didn't show up, and I would never do that much, and I didn't do it the time before, and I didn't do it the time, and there's still millions of fans that are angry at me for leaving Howard high and dry, which I didn't do. And
It's
I, of
That's
course,
the
I
way
thought about
they tell it. When even just recently, about a year ago, Robin and
but how do you
Fred,
see it?
Robin and Fred get real emotional about it. Like, you fucked over the show. You left the show. You guys were a team. They really they take it personally. It seems like.
But how can they? I asked for more money and they said no.
I don't take it
if you're
personally.
working at a business and you ask for a raise and they say no and you stop working there, it's not because you
Yeah,
don't.
explain that.
I don't take it personally.
Nobody does. It's just amazing to us that he's the only one that could leave for months at a time with
And
his
then come
negotiations.
back. Why come back?
Right. We were resentful that we had to sit there and hold ship. Don't forget, I have a way of operating. The budget that Jackie took up, I mean, I needed to spend it on someone else. At some point, I had to say, enough with this guy.
But remember the time he didn't show up, and then we were starting to get used to not work, and then all of a sudden he did show up?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, well, what are you doing here
Yeah, now he's here.
now? You want us now?
I was never ungrateful. I didn't ask for more. You know the whole story.
Sure.
I didn't ask for a crazy amount of money. And then after a couple months, I said, you know what? I don't want this to break up. I'll take what the offer was. And they said, and it was too late.
2 months later. And 2 months of him finally realizing he wasn't getting more money. I mean, he got a huge offer, huge raise offer, which he doesn't think is huge, but go ask any guy on radio. By the way, has Jackie made anywhere near that kind of money since he left? No. I would love to compare his last year with us and all the years subsequent to that. Or whatever. All the years after that.
Subsequent would be.
Was that right? Yeah. Didn't sound right to me. Anyway, so I don't know. You want to hear more?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me go through the whole thing.
All right. Here we go.
And that's my fault. But that was only 2 months after I left. So
only 2 months.
Yeah, only 2 months.
What's 2 months?
He could have very easily. And now I'll get in trouble for this, but kept the Beatles together. But
the Beatles are together, dude.
And all, at the time I was beaten, I was tired, and I feel bad that I wound up off the show, but it was like, I rolled the dice. What the fuck? I rolled the dice, but all I did was ask for more money. They said no, and I left. That is not a crime.
No one thinks it is.
The coming back was the crime.
Yeah. Leave us alone. Stop using us. Go write for someone else if you can.
Right.
You talk about hurt. When I called Howard and Tom, and my lawyer called Tom.
His lawyer. That lawyer was the greatest. Lawyer was like, we're going to teach Mel Karmazin how to negotiate. And he was like, what? What are you doing?
Are they still teaching him, or is the lesson finished?
So which Beatle exactly was Jackie supposed to be? Because to me, he's feeling like Pete Best right now.
Yeah.
You know? I think he thought he was...
or the guy who died.
Yeah, I think he thought he was Paul McCartney.
2 months when I had been off and said, listen, we'll take the offer that's on the table. I said, all right, we'll consider it.
Maybe he should have looked at it not as the Beatles, where everyone was sort of equal. Maybe he should have looked at it more like...
well, he was like...
Saturday Night Live, where a bunch of people write.
What was one of those guys who joined the Rolling Stone and then would leave the Rolling Stones?
Yeah.
Because the Rolling Stones were the Rolling Stones, and then every once in a while they'd hire some guy.
Right. Yeah, like when you're saying when Brian Jones died in the pool.
Yeah.
They brought in a different guy.
Yeah, Mick Taylor.
Yeah, Mick Taylor. And then Mick Taylor left, and
they brought in Ron Wood.
Right.
Get back to you. I really thought they'd at least call back and say, thanks, but no thanks. And
how many? They called 900 times. It was over.
No, they had a period of negotiation. The period ended. Jackie left, and that was that.
Yeah, how long can it go on? How long can you negotiate? What is this? What is he, a labor union?
They never called
You're
back.
waiting for the call still?
Which is kind of rude. You know, I mean, maybe I didn't deserve it, but, you know, who knows?
Oh, my. There were 20 million calls exchanged, and then finally it was just, all
and
right.
That you didn't listen when they said, this is it. It's not their fault.
It's real simple. Tom came to me and said, I've told Jackie that's it. He goes, do you agree? I go, absolutely. He told me the offer. I said, it sounds fantastic. It sounds like you're being very generous. You're certainly not cheaping out on the guy. I think he thinks he's me. And, you know, I'm the star of the show. He's a writer on the show. And that's it. And Tom said to me, this is the final offer. We're not prepared to offer him anymore. If you want to pay him, go ahead. I go, no, this is more than enough. He's making a ton of dough. And that's it. We can't negotiate. We're going to go start looking for someone else.
And nobody wanted to go through this again.
No, that was the point. But he doesn't get it. He still thinks no one called him back. They told him final offer, but he was used to like, oh, they've said that before.
Right.
You know.
When I first started the show, Howard said, hey, I got great news for you.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, boy. Here we go. What is he going to say now?
This is totally
This is a new
wrong.
wrinkle.
This is Jackie talking about how we are all represented by Don Buchwald, but he wasn't.
Truck to tail.
Right. I'll give you the truth about what really went down, but here's Jackie's version. Hey, Gary.
I want to back you up on this one because this one made me really.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This got you upset.
Yeah, this got me nuts.
And it's got nothing to do with me. I just happened to be there for a conversation Howard had.
When I first started the show, Howard said, hey, I got great news for you. Don's going to represent you if you want him.
I never said to him, I've got great news for you. Here's the truth. Then you can listen to this. Jackie was being represented by his wife. Things were going horribly. Mel wanted nothing to do with Jackie. He said to me, I don't want anything to do with this guy and his wife.
He was supposed to talk to his wife?
That's how bad things were.
Uh-huh. And he was talking to his wife.
I don't know who he was talking to, but I don't know. Things were just going wrong, and the company was getting rubbed the wrong way by Jackie.
Uh-huh.
You know, even when people want more money, I guess there's a certain way of doing things. I suggested to Jackie maybe not use his wife as an agent. And he said, no, my wife's not my agent, my manager. I said, look, you got to get somebody. If you would like, I'll call Don Buchwald. If you'd like that. I never said, hey, good news.
Right.
No, I didn't care who represented Jackie. As long as he got somebody
who wouldn't screw up things for him.
Who wouldn't make management go, we want this guy out. Like, they were like, listen.
Because there was a general attitude from that negotiation on.
They didn't
that
like
nobody
Jackie.
wanted Jackie around.
Yeah. And I'm not even blaming his wife, Nancy, because you know what? Now that I think about it.
Wait.
No, by the way, I don't think she was talking about.
She wasn't. She wasn't.
What was happening was, if I remember correctly, and I forget how it happened, but maybe Jackie and Mel were dealing directly with each other.
Uh-huh.
But Mel was kind of like, and Tom and everyone, not just Mel, everyone. Just came to me privately and said, look, we don't like this guy.
Right.
We think he's bad news. I said, he's a nice guy. They go, for whatever reason, he's coming off horribly, just as a human being. I said, okay, So I went to Jackie. I said, maybe it shouldn't be you doing things.
Right.
Maybe you should get somebody. I said, if you want, I'll call Don Buckwell. I need to. Good news, Jackie. By the way, Don was not looking to represent Jackie. Don's business is done just fine without Jackie. There's not a whole lot of money in the Jackie business for Don.
There really is, by the way, in any negotiation, when the person goes in to represent themselves, it just never works because you need somebody to be a buffer.
Right.
Because you can't say, well, when you say, listen, this is what I'm worth, people look at you a different way. So you just suggested to Jackie, in general, maybe it's not the best idea you represent yourself.
That's what it was. It wasn't his wife.
Well, she was representing him in the comedy circuit.
Which was fine. And I didn't care, but I just said to him, maybe you need to get advice from a professional.
But I know you said, get anybody if you'd like, because I was there. If you'd like, I would introduce you to Don.
You were there in the room.
And
introduce is not, I can get Don to represent you.
No, but Jackie's saying that Howard said, good news, Don's going to represent you, as if you were pushing it. Yeah. And Jackie always had this
conspiracy
theory of collusion.
Here you go. Listen to this.
And I said no, because it didn't make sense to me that if they're going to pay Howard, and then they're going to pay Robin, and they're going to pay Fred, so I'm going to be the fourth bird in line for a worm. It seems like, how could you,
Yeah, but see that
it didn't seem.
I look
seem
at you
comfortable.
the way you did it. I look at you as fourth bird in the line. Whereas if you'd have been with Team Don, it would have been Howard and then the three of you. Like I always wondered why you weren't just part of that, so you didn't have to do your own negotiating. Were you worried he wouldn't take care of you the way you could yourself?
It just didn't. It seemed weird. He'd be negotiating with himself. Don, it just didn't. My cousin.
How would Don be negotiating by?
You know what I love?
I know why.
I know. Wait a minute. The first statement is, I didn't think.
Yeah.
Now, all of his thoughts have led to this.
Yeah. All of his thoughts led to ultimately him being out of work.
And he's still standing by them.
Yeah, he loves it. He doesn't do any self-examination.
I know the answer,
almost a pro ball player, and he said that an agent in baseball can't represent more than one agent, more than one player on a team.
Have you ever heard of that before? That's bullshit.
No.
There are agents who represent many.
There's some agents who have almost the entire league locked up.
Scott Boras has everybody.
Baseball, an agent can't represent more than Well, first of all, this isn't baseball. Baseball is like a monopoly. This is the real world.
Jackie's taking advice from a guy who almost got into baseball.
Yeah, right. My cousin. Did you hear what he said?
It was his cousin who told him this?
Wait, you got to hear this. My cousin. He's always getting advice from someone. My cousin almost got into baseball.
He's like.
He said. Yeah,
he's like Richard's dad.
You can't say, hey, you can have mud on shortstop. More than one agent. Also pro. Don, it just didn't. My cousin was almost a pro ball player, and he
almost.
Never got there.
Look where he gets advice.
But he knows.
He gets advice from his cousin, from his uncle, never from a professional.
Yeah, none of these people have been in show business.
And by the way, his cousin's wrong. Maybe that's why he almost got into baseball.
He said that an agent in baseball can't represent more than one agent.
Maybe you should have called the baseball player and found out if that was true.
More than one player on a team. Because you can't say, hey, you can have mud on shortstop, but you got to take Jackie on first base. It's like...
Okay, give Howard the money we need, but you could take it out of Jackie's pocket.
Exactly. Jackie's
got a pocket.
Jackie has no pocket.
What I was going to say is that part of the conspiracy theory, which I'd heard several times, when we get drunk and I'd be... Jackie be sitting there and John would be sitting there and I'd be sitting there, was that somehow, I got to remember this correctly, I want to get it right, that somehow... A big pot of money was given to Don to distribute any way he wanted to everybody. So that if he were part of Team Don, you were going to get the biggest part of the pot, and then everybody else was going to get a little bit less.
And he'd be the fourth to dip into
so
the pot.
Let's say that's true. Which it's not, because Don would go in and negotiate. But forget that. I don't care who represents him. What do I give a shit? Just get someone professional.
It doesn't mean
so it's
anything
not
to you. You're not getting any money out of the deal.
No. So I was like, Jackie, just get someone other than yourself. I remember he used to walk in by himself and rub everyone the wrong way.
And he didn't realize that he had done that.
Right. An agent has a certain finesse where he's not going to sit there and, Jackie could have played the good guy while the agent was the bad guy.
Well, the problem was Jackie never got the right representation anyway.
Oh, here's a guy who says, enough talking about Jackie. We've heard it. Okay. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. I love listening.
It means a lot to us.
We
enjoy
love
it.
Too much Jackie talk. Okay, fine. You want to hear how Jackie wasn't invited to my wedding? You haven't heard that before.
Oh, come on.
All right, wait.
Let's hear
Whether
this.
they rag at me or whatever they do, there is something going on. If it's 10 years, it's not a month ago. It's not 3 years ago. It's 10 years ago. That's a long time. And like you say, from the response, from the feedback I get from people, it's as fresh as it happened yesterday.
He does. He still is like emotional, and it comes up again and again. And
But he
fans all
can't be
know
mad
the
at me
story.
because I
I'm
didn't
not.
do. And Dominic Barber called me up and said, I don't understand, Howard. You didn't do anything wrong.
Is
And
it
I
some
didn't.
sort of grudge? Like, what is he just trying to prove that he's right and you're wrong?
I don't know. People say, I don't care, but so many people say, how could you be friends with a guy for 18 years and work side by side with him for 15 years, being half of his brain and not be invited to his wedding?
He was half
You
of my
were
brain.
half of his.
Yeah.
Oh, you never told me he was half of your brain.
Well, that's the other Jackie thing. What really drove him, he didn't feel he got any credit. I don't know. And he was constantly announcing which jokes he wrote. And like, first of all, you watch the Academy Awards when Billy Crystal would come out or something. He doesn't stop after each joke and go, by the way, the writer of that joke was. That's what Jackie wanted. Like, if Jackie thought up something, he wanted full credit on the air. That was what the laugh was. It was crazy.
He was half your brain.
Half my brain. So that means I only own half of my mind when Jackie's in the room.
How did you do this all without him for some reason?
I don't know. Maybe he should realize he's a writer on a show. He's not half my brain.
The other thing about him, and that's why I made the Rolling Stone analogy, Jackie wasn't here at the beginning. He didn't meet you and create a show.
Well, in his mind, he rewrote history. He made me successful.
You were already doing this.
I know.
And I said, listen, I got no problem with that, but I don't know if that was just, like, of course you wouldn't be invited, but at some point, all bets should be off when it comes to a funeral or,
Jackie's nuts.
So he expected to be invited to the wedding?
I hadn't socialized with Jackie in 15 years. He doesn't know Beth at all. I hadn't seen him, I don't know. I mean, I'm not friendly with Jackie. I like Jackie a lot. We were good friends when he worked here, and I would hang out with him. But after he left, we didn't
I'm
party.
trying to think of anybody who would be equivalent to Jackie who was there.
No. I mean, I don't hang out with Jackie. I don't socialize with Jackie. Quite frankly, I don't socialize with a lot of people, but I'd see him at work.
No, I'm just someone you just never talk to again for a certain amount of time, and then you said, oh, come to my wedding.
Why would I do that?
That sounds reasonable to me.
Well, I guess if he's half my brain, he's half married to Beth.
What, did you turn the lights out on that half? It doesn't even speak to you anymore?
Unbelievable. Anyway, so he was on the...
Half your brain. I mean, the things that... See, those are the things that upset me.
Then he had this other whole rap about...
Whenever he tries to take undue credit...
Oh, he never got enough.
This...
Never got enough.
It upsets me.
Yeah.
Because to say he's half your brain...
And I guess you, Fred, and Gary are on the other half.
But you have a whole brain.
Right.
You never needed another part.
No, he felt he was half of my brain.
Well, how the hell are we limping along on half a brain?
If we had him back, I'd have my whole brain back.
Thank God.
He's half my brain tumor.
That's right. He's cancer.
Yeah. He's a character. Oh, I mean, it's so great. Then he goes into a rant about Benji being brought in and he wasn't told. And
I've heard him talk about this before, like how, he hated Benji being like over his shoulder.
Yeah.
During one of the best of things, you were interviewed, and you talked about how Benji came in, and I don't know if "threaten's" the right word, but you were hurt or something that they had somebody doing your same
what
job
happened?
right
and
next
nothing
to
to
you.
do with Benji, because the way that I got to do anything is, this is show business or whatever business. You do what you want to do, and the kid wanted to write, but they just told me one day, hey, Benji's going to sit in with you, and It's like, imagine if Robin's sitting there and there was somebody sitting next to Robin and say, no, do this.
Bad analogy, dude. On shows, there's many writers, but there's not multiple news people coming in. And I mean, what did he think he was? He's a writer on the show. Fred's a writer on the show. And now Benji's a writer on the show.
Yeah, Fred had to accept that Jackie was there.
Jackie decided that I had enough writing. I didn't need any more.
Once you got him, you didn't need any more.
No.
Well, he was the traffic cop.
News story instead. No, do this. And of course, every news story they're going to give her is going to be great. But she already had it covered. Like, I already had the writing covered, and between me and Fred, we had it covered.
He had the writing covered.
Oh, my God.
How do you? Maybe I didn't think you had the writing covered. My half a brain.
No, see, half your brain knew.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't think it was enough. What do you care?
You know, your two sides of your brain are fighting with each other.
It was just weird that I'm sitting there. It's like, it's none of my business. It's not my show. Of course, if Howard wants another writer.
But you're half my brain. It sounds like you are. It is your show.
He had it covered.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not my say, but it was a little odd.
But wasn't Fred already doing that as well?
Yeah. So picture this. I'm sitting there, and Howard's talking, and he says something. I think it's something funny for him to say. And I write, as I'm writing it down, now I got to read. I write it, but I got to read what
Wow. Wow, sorry, your job's so
you
hard.
have to work. It's a job, and you have to work.
It was too much.
Wrote, then I'm reading what Benji wrote and decide which, so sometimes I just write something and put it up, and I wouldn't. It was too much. It was, if somebody hands you 3 cupcakes, you can only eat 1. You know what I mean? It's like, it was too much. Very often what Benji wrote was so funny and it was great, but it was overkill. I thought it was overkill.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It was overkill for him.
It was too funny.
Too funny. Too much fun. Anyway, the Jackie saga on Mutt Superfan Roundtable.
Wow.
And I don't know. Then there was a whole thing about Jackie, Nancy, the apology to Nancy. It was very entertaining, quite frankly, but it got me really worked up because it's upsetting me.
I'm fascinated by the workings of his mind.
It upsets me that he just is his own worst enemy. He'd still be sitting here if he just kind of mellowed out, figured out what was going on, and kind of saw his position in the right way. I said to him, listen, you're not the show, but you're an important part of the show, and you're being compensated. You got a great life. You're going to make a ton of dough for the next 5 years. Just sign up.
He never enjoyed this for a moment.
Never.
It was a burden. It wasn't enough. He didn't get the acknowledgement he needed. So it's better that he's away.
Right. Oh, it's so silly. Mutt got everyone going, though. He's good, Mutt. I like that show. Superfan Roundtable. Still think it's one of the best shows on the channel.
Well, they should have Jackie every week.
Yeah, it's great. Always great. And then his marriage to Nancy because the bathtub incident with Jessica Hahn.
Oh, that ruined the marriage?
Well, no, they were supposed to go on vacation. Nancy said no because of what happened with Jessica Hahn.
Oh, they didn't make a vacation because of that?
Yeah.
My wife had absolutely nothing to do with what I said that day. We went to I called up our marriage therapist who was trying to save our marriage 10 minutes after we got married. And she said, if you want to save your marriage, we were supposed to leave the next day to go to Europe. Her sister was getting married in France, and we're going to Venice. We're going to have the greatest vacation in the world. And she said, I ain't going no fucking Europe. I ain't going to. And Emily was our marriage counselor, and she said, Jackie, do whatever you can do to get her on that plane, and 100 miles into the trip, this will all melt away. So what can I do? And she was so pissed. I said, you know what? I'm just going to. I figured what we did was nothing. But Howard made it sound like there was a full-scale orgy went on in that bit. We were in the bathtub 10 seconds, right? But, his genius is to take something and make them, So she didn't hear it. So she heard the version of 20 of her friends
relaying the message.
So not only did Howard pile it on, then they piled it. So, I had both thumbs up, Jessica Hahn's asshole, So she was so mad. So I figured the right thing to do is if the word got around to her about that, if I go in and apologize, maybe there's cocksucking friend.
I like that he had to apologize on the air. Yeah, So, quite frankly, just to make it clear, Nancy was not the problem negotiating with Mel and Tom.
I don't know anything.
That was, it was. Now that I think about it, it was Jackie going in himself.
I just remember that he was not liked after the very first negotiation.
Yeah, that I remember. It went really, and I just said to him, it might be a good idea if you didn't do this yourself because they're getting the wrong impression of you. They don't like you. He's like, fuck everyone, I don't care. And I was like, it's not good to have management feel that way. You might need professional representation. Would you like me to call my agent? That was all. I didn't even know if my agent would represent him, quite frankly. Because one thing I know about Don, if he doesn't like someone, he won't represent him. Because he doesn't want to...
And if he can't talk to a person,
right,
he's not going to represent him.
Yeah, you don't want the aggravation. All right, Bobo, you're up. You're
Hey, how you doing,
Howard?
Howard?
Yes.
Let me weigh in on this. First of all, wouldn't you want to do what it takes to negotiate within the means of the show to keep everybody working together?
Well,
I
I
mean,
did
the
say
kind
to
of
I
money
did
that
say
you
to him, you ought to check around in the industry and see what people are making. And
yeah, I mean, like you said, flying on a private jet, that just doesn't happen in the radio world.
it doesn't.
Okay?
Right.
And let me ask you something else, too. You think because he branded himself, that's the key word, as head writer, you think it went to his head?
Well, that was the other thing, too. He insisted on a title, head writer. And like, the only other writer was Fred.
And then when Benji came along, he complained that there was too much to do being the head writer.
he didn't want to be, so I said, let Fred be the head writer. And even I said to Fred, I go, do you mind if Jackie calls himself head writer? Fred was like, no, if it keeps the show together, why not? But I mean, quite frankly, Fred is, if not as much responsible for the success of the show as any one of us. I mean, Fred was gracious about it. He goes, listen, I don't care about a title. Well, he said, I don't care about a title. I don't even know what he's carrying on. But if he wants to be a head writer, fine.
That's great.
I think that Fred's a quiet guy.
Right.
And he's not much for rocking the boat. But I think that he was probably a little hurt by it, and he just didn't want to make waves.
Not hurt, annoyed.
Right.
Yeah. But Fred's like, hey, I'm a fucking writer.
Well, it was just so silly. I mean, how do you have a head writer?
It's two people.
If anything, I'm the head writer.
That's what I would
exactly
always
the
say.
point.
You are the head writer, and Jackie hands you what everybody else writes.
All right.
That's really a bold move to be working with one other person.
But that's Jackie.
And saying, I want to be the head writer.
And think nothing of
but
it.
that's why-
and he just arrived.
The title head writer.
And then when Benji
was
wanted to come
irrelevant.
in, which would make it a bigger position, he rejected it.
Right, I was gonna say,
But being head writer is irrelevant on a show like this because it's only two guys sitting here, basically. And but it was really important to him. He just had a chip on his shoulder that he felt absolutely
it was
negated as a human being if he didn't have this title. And he wanted everyone to know that he was better than, I guess, Fred. I don't know.
I think that, in his mind, he was Larry David,
Right.
your Jerry Seinfeld.
No, he wanted to be like Dick Van Dyke, and Fred was like Maury Amsterdam.
Right.
That's how
But
he
I'm
was.
just saying, in terms of what Jackie actually thought he was Larry David.
But here's the weird move about the head writer thing, too, Howard. That was a negotiation with the Channel 9 show for Jackie to get the physical credit when the credits rolled.
Yeah, because...
And then he just moved it over here, but
Yeah.
we never said he was a head writer here.
He wanted Hollywood to recognize that he was head writer because he was going to be punching up scripts.
But there was no credit on the radio show that said you were head writer. He just took it from the TV show and moved it over.
It was
But did
fine.
he ever sit down with Fred and ask him about that?
No, listen, we didn't care because it was funny to us. I mean, the guy wanted to be head writer on our show. We were like, well, who else is here writing?
Yeah, I mean, since it really doesn't mean anything, go ahead and call him that.
I was like confused too because when we'd been back in my office writing stuff, I'd go, gee, am I supposed to check in with Jackie to make sure that to the head writer? I don't know. What do I do? All right, Bobo, thank you. There it is. Bobo needs to get on the air every day. Now he feels good.
He can have a good day. He can sit and watch the water and be happy.
Yes. Here's Jimmy who says we talk enough about Jackie. I'm sorry, we got sucked in, Jimmy. It's
Howard,
Jimmy, it's Mutt's fault. He had him on Superfan Roundtable. It's not our
We
fault.
had tape.
Howard, you're not going to find a bigger super fan than me. I've been following you for 20-plus years. I tape the show every day, blah,
Thank you.
blah, blah. Now, but I want to tell you something about Jackie. 2 weeks after that whole debacle when he left, right before he was going to leave the final time, I emailed him. And what wound up happening was I said to him, Jackie, what the fuck are you thinking? I said something to that effect. And I said, you're on the best radio show, the most greatest marketing tool for your career. What are you thinking walking away from that show? And I couldn't believe it. His response simply was, great email. And he never said anything after that, which was you don't know what the hell's going on in this guy's mind.
I thought you didn't want to talk about Jackie. You're talking about him more than I am.
No. Here's the thing. My wife we're spending all this money on how.
Thank you.
All right. My wife she said, why is he talking about this again? Frankly, I think it's awesome theater.
Oh, you see, because of you, I rushed through it.
No. I don't want you to rush it. I think it's awesome, and it's an honor to talk to you. We never call in, and I just didn't. All right.
For all the years. Thank you, Howard. We love you.
That's my wife. I'm sorry.
Is she hot?
Yeah, she is. She's very good looking.
Very nice.
We're married 12 years. But we've been listening to you. I grew up.
Thank you. All right, let's start up the Jackie conversation again. I thought Jimmy. I saw Jimmy's call said stop talking about Jackie, and I was like,
my
oh
wife
fuck.
lit a fire under my ass. She said, why is he talking about that again?
Right.
Frankly, I think it's awesome whenever you talk about it. Can I ask you a question though?
Yes.
First of all, I'm a big Artie fan as well. Do you guys, since Jackie left, I mean, I thought the show really changed, and then when Artie came in, now, do you guys find that it's, with nobody sitting in that chair, that it's a little harder for you to do your thing?
No. I like it. I like just this group that we have now. It's very copacetic, so to speak, and I don't know. I just feel real good about being here, and I don't know. I guess I don't feel like we need anybody. But it could happen again that we get somebody else in here.
But it's not hard to do the job.
No, the job's fun. It's a nice groove. You get to sit here and talk and do some funny stuff.
I think the interplay between you and Robin is a lot more into it since Artie left, and we love
absolutely. Artie. I love Artie too.
Well, yeah, we've seen Artie so many times, at his comedy shows up here in Boston, but it's just, it's a totally different vibe. And by the way, Robin, I saw you at Fenway Park when you were in that pedicab.
All right, Jimmy, I got to go. It's enough.
What?
You were in the pedicab. I remember that one. Jimmy, thank you, though, and thank your wife. Very nice words. Anyway, Jackie was on Mutt's show. And in it, I was trying to push Don Buchwald on him. Tom Chiusano, he's still waiting for Tom's call.
Nobody called.
Nobody called him. Well, just to get, let's set this straight once and for all. Here is my version. They called him and said it's a final offer. It had gone on and on and on. And then he thought it was still going on. Like, in other words,
he decided he was going to not come in.
Right.
And they said, well, that'll be it.
Yeah. 2 months later, Jackie woke up and realized he had no job and said, okay, I'll take my job back. And we said, there's no job. I think he was waiting for a final offer. He decided not to sign with Don Buchwald because in baseball, his cousin almost got into baseball and heard that agents can't represent more than one player on a team. That was the advice he got from his cousin, who's almost a baseball player. He was almost a baseball player.
And just, I love how with authority he says he took the advice of a cousin who was almost in baseball.
He sounds
that's reasonable.
He sounds proud of that. Like, maybe check that out.
Why are you talking to that cousin?
And on top of everything we learned from Mutt's show, he was upset that he wasn't invited to my wedding, which is even more delusional.
That's a surprise, because I don't think that had ever been brought up before.
I make a Christmas party every year. I've invited Jackie because he works on the channel. So
and
Jackie,
then he's incredibly uncomfortable.
I know
to be around the whole time he's there.
And then I see him at the Christmas party. He goes, "Thank you for inviting me. I thought you didn't even want me. I can't even believe I'm invited." I go, "You work on the channels. Of course you're invited." I didn't think you wanted me the whole time. I go, well, obviously I want you. You're here. Like it was a mistake that I invited him.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you invited me. I didn't think you were going to invite me.
Robin, I ever tell you about the time I got a stock tip from my cousin who works at an auto body shop, but he was almost a stockbroker? I mean, it's crazy. He was almost a stockbroker. I'm not kidding. He almost took the test. There was a lot of people giving Jackie advice who shouldn't have been.
Right.
The only person he should have listened to was me. He would have done very well in life. He would have done exceptionally well if he took my advice. I wasn't looking to screw him, and I think he always had this attitude that I was looking to screw him. Somehow I was behind the machinations of screwing Jackie.
Well, why would you do that?
I was only trying to make his life better. I begged him. I said, Jackie, you've got a great life. Why would you let this explode? Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. You'll pay. I'll leave the show. Your whole career will go away.
But, you know,
All right.
Howard, you know, the other thing
If
that's
he was real honest, he'd admit.
crazy about this is that he had left many times before
Yep.
and nothing happened.
Right.
So why did he think that he was going to go on to some career?
I don't know. He always did. He even once said to me, I believe, and I don't know if I have it exactly right, but it was that, you know, if I wasn't here, my career would have been huge.
Right.
like he sacrificed a lot. Like he could have been his own Jackie the Joke Man Martling without me, and he basically was living under my shadow. And if he had just gone off on his own, who knows what would happen?
Somehow or other, people weren't hiring him because he was on this show.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. They won't let me on the roast. I go, why is that? Well, honestly, I think it's because I work here.
Yeah.
You mean you're so funny, but they're keeping you off the roast because you work? I would think putting you on the roast would be advantageous if you're so funny. And working here, why would comedians be against you if you work here? Well, I think some people at the Friars Club, you made fun of them. And they're going to keep me off the dais. Because, and I'd sit there and I'd roll my eyes because I go, you know what? He's not that funny on the fucking roast. That's why they're not having him on. We did a roast on Channel 9. He accused me of fixing the audience not to laugh at him.
For years. I don't think he ever believed that we didn't.
Yeah. I didn't get one laugh. I know what you did. Why don't you admit it?
You all got together and you told everybody not to laugh.
I thought I was losing my mind with this guy. This is what I had to deal with. He came back and was like all upset. I know what you did. What, you know, Gary got laughs. Everyone there got laughs. Richard Simmons got laughs. I mean, everyone. He got up. It was crickets. And he's the professional comedian.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
so
that was one of the greatest episodes of a comedian dying on stage ever.
And he goes, I know what you did. You sabotaged my performance. You made it so the audience wouldn't laugh.
Well, you know, he was devastated that day, but then he came back in on Monday and he said, all right, you can admit it. We were like, admit what?
Yeah, I mean, that's how he got through it. I was Satan. I was always plotting against him. I go, what are you saying, Jackie? I mean, I didn't get one laugh. I know you rigged the audience. I said, I don't know how to tell you I didn't do anything. No, I know what you did.
You can go ahead and tell me.
And the funny part would be letting me in on the joke.
Wow.
Oh, my God. I had it. I had it.
But there were other times that he had decided to leave and he would send out whatever that packet was.
Yeah.
He would send to
get other jobs.
people he had met on the show.
Right. He would send to Andrew Dice Clay or Sam Kinison a package saying he's now ready to write for them.
Right.
And then
he's going to be available.
And then, I don't know, one of them called me Sam or Dice and go, hey, well, what is this? We got this package from Jackie. I go, what package? They go, well, he says he's ready to write for us. I go, it's fine with me. I don't care who he writes for.
Go nuts.
Go write. I think I just wanted you to know.
And then he had the great line that, well, Jackie, what are you going to do? When we would talk to him about this on the, I could go punch up scripts.
Where? Who's looking for him to punch up a script? I'll be like Babaloo Mandel. He locked into that name. Yeah. I go, Babaloo Mandel writes his own movie scripts, and sometimes they call him in to write. You don't write movie scripts. Yeah, I could do it. But you've never written one. I know I could do it. Hey, Andrew.
Hello, Howard.
Hey, now.
Hey, now. I was just wondering, why did you keep giving Jackie so many chances? I mean, it looks like he drove you nuts.
You know what? I gave him a lot of chances because I'll tell you this. I genuinely thought he was super talented, and also, I really liked the guy. I mean, there was something very simpatico between us. And I liked him. And I really listen, I've improved a lot in my mental health. Back then I kind of thought, oh my God, he's his own self, he's his own worst enemy. I'm going to save him. I'm going to get through to him because I know what he's walking away from. It was almost like watching a guy commit suicide And I'd say to myself, if you saw a guy committing suicide, would you jump in and try and help? Or would you let him kill himself? And ultimately, I'd always jump in and try and say, life's worth living.
Yeah, but Jackie was the kind of guy who would take you down with him.
Yeah, that's true. If he was drowning, he'd pull you down and go, you're going to. But I didn't see it at the time. I just saw it as like, you know what? He's a talented guy. He's a nice guy. I enjoy his vibe. You know, we had many good times together. And I said, this guy, I really thought of him as a friend. And I said, you know, I have a friend who's a little bit out of it. He doesn't understand that he's got something good going. And, you know, my life, I've always learned if you have something good, really, before you let it go, make sure you understand what you're giving up. So I used to look at Jackie and I'd say, I'm going to get through to this guy. I'm going to put my brain in his head. You know, he says he owned half my brain. I was going to give him half of my brain and go, Jackie, I'm a guy who's been in radio a long time. I've struggled with it. I know what it is to make a living in it. We've got a great situation. You've got Mel Karmazin who's willing to pay you. I mean, he had no idea what he had. I said, you don't know, an opportunity like this doesn't come along all the time. You've got something good. Go with it. Yeah, and it was like watching a guy. You know, if I had been in the room with Artie when he tried to commit suicide, I would have tried to stop him.
Right.
And the same with Jackie. He was committing suicide. I said, I looked at him. I took him on that plane. I said, Jackie, you're eating steak. You know, Jackie loved to eat.
Oh, my God. Did he love room service?
I said, you're on a plane. You got room service. You're in the best hotels.
Remember the time we walked in and he had ordered 2 of everything?
You're making a bunch of dough. I see over there you got a newspaper. You're checking your stocks. You're a gentleman. I said, you're hanging around with a bunch of friends who want to suck you down with them. You're listening to too many people. Listen to me. I'm your friend. You got a good situation. You're just trying to get more for yourself. You're trying to trick me. I was the enemy. And I wanted to say to him, you're wrong. You don't understand what I'm saying. I care about you. No, you don't. You don't care about me. My cousin almost got into baseball. No, he doesn't. Yeah.
You know, Jason came to me while you were talking, and you were talking about the roast before. And Jason said, you know, I've always heard Howard talk about the roast, but I've never heard it. Was it that bad? So JD pulled it, and I listened to the first 4 jokes, and it's funny because I remember the day, and again, I don't know if we're getting too far into it, but I remember the day, it was Jackie's big moment.
Right.
And
because he was a roast expert.
And I even said to Jason, I remember that I went out, I got a book of bad, sticky jokes, and that was going to be my rap. I'm going to do bad, sticky jokes. And
you got laughs.
You got great laughs.
I got laughs because there was no expectation. Jackie did almost my exact jokes.
Right.
But Jackie was supposed to be a brilliant comedian. I don't know if you want to hear it, but I listened to it, and it is fucking funny. It's like Gary Page 2.
Is this where I supposedly rigged the audience?
Yes. But I'm telling you that, like, there were too many people there for us to tell for it to be that silent.
I know, it was a room full of people.
Howard, here's a man who takes credit for everything you say, yet the only thing funny about him is his belly button.
So true.
Please welcome the very
That was a good line. So far, so good.
Everything's
and the
going
very
for him.
upset Jackie, the joke man, Bartlett.
Yeah, let's see this. All right, this is his big moment.
I remember sitting there on that day thinking, if he bombs, my life's going to be hell.
But who would have expected him to bomb?
And I was sitting there going, I better try and interject a few things to make it funny.
Look, you can't get out of the chair. Let me see what happens now. Shut up. This is his big moment. Now it's your show.
This is Jackie Uncensored.
Yeah, we'll see how funny this is, Robin.
Jackie Uncensored and Unedited.
All right, give him a chance.
Stereo morons right here.
Go ahead, all right.
All right.
8 years I've waited to call you Big Bird to your face, you gawky bastard.
All right, go ahead.
They're not going to laugh at one thing I say.
No, that's right.
We'll laugh when they laugh.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's the deal. Okay, Howard.
Go ahead, get out all your anger.
Howard Stern.
That's good.
You take away his looks, his body, his charm, and his personality, and what have you got? Howard Stern. Gary laughed at that.
No, Gary.
People say to me, Jackie, how can Howard act like such a jerk? It's simple, he's not acting. Oh, this
good. Now you realize.
I'm doing so much better than Henny, but at least he was old.
You know, at least
Howard.
now you realize that you need me.
Write me a joke.
That's what you realize. You need me.
I absolutely got to have you.
Go ahead, continue with your act.
I admit that Howard does work hard. He had to search far and wide to find a producer whose face he could make fun of. All
right, anyway, it's painful. But I listen.
But you remember he walked off the show on Monday.
Yes.
That was another.
why did he
Right, because
walk
we
off?
would never admit.
We wouldn't admit that we rigged the audience.
And he walked
He
off?
said, "I need a mental health day." Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah.
He goes, "Howard, admit it." You go, "I'm not going to admit it because it didn't happen." He was very upset, so he left.
He left the show.
He left the show.
Took a day.
Mental health day.
Good Lord.
And you put up with a lot of shit.
I did.
And you're sitting there, you go, "God, I put up with a lot of shit."
What about my mental health? It was such an elaborate thing that we rigged him first with bad jokes, then we rigged the audience.
Well, how could we do that? Because he did his own material.
We
so we
hypnotized
couldn't
him.
get in there.
I hypnotized him. He was the Manchurian comedian. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Well, anyway, Mutt did a good job. Yes, Andrew. You've asked your question. Thank you.
Jackie's very ungrateful. He should have been on his hands and knees thanking God that he was working for
Well,
us.
I didn't ask him for that.
There was no reason for that. Just
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I begged him. I said, you got no pressure on you.
It's just terribly ungrateful. Like, it's just abusing what you're given.
Yep. All right, Andrew, thank you. Well, it's a good lesson for all of us. You got something good, go with it.
Benji, do you realize that you're the thing that drove him over the edge?
What do you mean?
Jackie. You know, every time Jackie starts talking, it's like, and then they brought Benji in. Did you know you were such a potent force?
No.
You were going to get him out of his seat?
I didn't. I'm going to start doing interviews about that.
That's right. You're the Jackie killer.
Robin, this whole thing seems very cyclical. It's like every now and again he brings it up on his show, then Howard gets pissed off, then you get pissed off, and Fred and Gary, or just get annoyed by the way he remembers.
Well, it's just when you're listening to somebody, he always tells the story in a way that doesn't match the facts, and that's what's bothersome. You know, when he won't look at the facts the way they are, he can never learn from his mistakes. It was his job to keep his job, and he frittered it away. When he was leaving, he said, "I'm ready to go." And then 2 months later, he couldn't believe his job wasn't still there.
Gary brought up a good point that he believes it's more about ego than money. I mean, the amount of money he was holding out for wasn't like a...
Again, yeah, they weren't very far apart. You know, that's how negotiations go. You don't necessarily get everything you want, but you get close. And then you say, okay, and he had this crazy notion in his head that if he, you know, like a baby, I want it all, and if I can't have it all, I'm taking my ball and go home, and I'm going home. He didn't realize he didn't have the ball.
And at the end of it, you continue to work through your negotiations, as did Fred and Howard, but he thought he was above that.
Well, we would actually wrap up our negotiations before the end of a contract. Jackie liked playing out the string and then coming to some kind of agreement afterwards, and he'd always go on strike. And I would always say, well, where's his line? I don't see him out there picketing. He's just sleeping in. He's taking an extra vacation, and we keep his job waiting for him. And then after a week or two, he comes back refreshed and ready to go.
You never saw Jackie downstairs with one of those giant inflatable rats?
No, I wouldn't have crossed his picket line. Where was it?
Now, given all of this nonsense, there's a very small part of you still wish he was in that chair, cracking jokes and ripping on Gary and writing things.
Me?
Yeah.
No. In a word? No, I was ready for Jackie to go 5 years before he went. So, and
you know, a little known news, Robin was Jackie's lawyer. She sold him. I'm going to teach Mel how to negotiate.
No, I was tired of Jackie's antics. In fact, that there was one negotiation, I think it was one of those last ones, where I didn't talk to him 2 or 3 months after he returned because I was just sick of what he was doing. So I looked at the last go round and I said, oh, they're actually going to let him leave this time, and he did.
I'm very reluctant to ever talk about Jackie, and I've probably already said too much about Jackie, because Jackie will watch this and he'll listen to it. He'll find something in there to be I don't know, disagreeable about. And then if he ever does come in again, he'll start something with me. And what can I say? Good luck, my friend.
The whole thing seems cyclical. Like it's like every now and again, Jackie.
I'm trying to break the cycle.
Right.
That's why I love talking to you. I love talking to you. I love talking to Howard TV. But when it comes to Jackie Martling, I think I'm drawing a line in the sand when it comes to him these days. It's like, Jackie, good luck with whatever it is that you do. I hope you get all the worms that you can eat. You talk about worms. We're all sharing worms.